Department after one of their own was killed in a car crash on Interstate 59. Precinct Officer Marlon Moore was off duty and on his motorcycle when the crash occurred this past Monday. Moore had been serving within the police department since 2019. The Birmingham PD called Moore a man who honorably served with dedication, integrity, and pride. And the Alabama State Fraternal Order of Police will be honoring fallen officers here in the state of Alabama. The annual memorial service for 4 fallen deputies will be held this coming Friday in Montgomery at the South Lawn of the state capitol building. Governor Ivey and Attorney General Steve Marshall will be attending the event. They will also be delivering keynote speeches. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time, every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. Beautiful day out of Montgomery, Alabama. Beautiful Tuesday. We only have like a month of that before it starts to just get heavy and humid. And in fact, my guest knows he spent some time here in Alabama. Joining me now, as he always does to kick off the show on Tuesdays, we have the one, the only Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine, my friend. The weather is beautiful up here in New York, and I have very happy memories of my time in Alabama at the Mises Institute, although not of the weather.
Yeah, because you would be down here in the middle of the summer.
Yes, it was like the second or third week in July, so it was change your clothes 3 times a day.
Yeah, it's nice right now. It's nice right now. Kind of a little bit of a curveball. It's more not in the political news. This morning, I read your op-ed from last Thursday that you did send me early, and I appreciate that. And at the same time, I was listening to an audiobook chapter as I'm getting ready for the day, and it's on the whole Reformation with Erasmus and Luther and then into Calvin. And it struck me how much you were going in and defending the whole idea of natural law and free will. And maybe me being in Alabama politics, I'm around too many Protestants. And you ever run into like the true predestination types? And I mean, what do you say to these folks, I suppose, in a friendly way?
You know, I can't say that I ran into the predestination types, but I have run into, in my years teaching at Seton Hall Law School and at Brooklyn Law School, I've run into academics who condemn the concept of natural law. To academics, they believe that our liberties come from the consensus of the community. In other words, you and I can speak freely because our neighbors allow it. That also means that if our neighbors decide they don't want to allow it, that we don't have the freedom of speech. This is, in my view, an absurd argument, but it is one embraced by many people in government as well as many people in academia. But I really haven't come across a hardcore predestinarian in years.
Yeah, I know, and it's a crazy argument to go down. If I'm in that any of that camp I just named, Erasmus is one that I I really do revisit the adages of Erasmus. It's fun to just pick up a chapter and start to read into it.
Without getting too deep into the weeds, Erasmus's best friend was my patron saint, St. Thomas More. And one of them, there was a debate at the time, was the smartest man in Europe. Erasmus claimed it was More claimed it was Erasmus.
Yeah, I always revisit that period in history, or have been recently, because I think it still helps explain a lot of stuff. And I guess this is a follow-up question. Often, like my grandfather, who I'm living with these days, is a very practical guy. And he's like, what's all this philosophy stuff worth? I mean, he's a very devoutful Catholic, and he goes along with the church, but
show him my piece and ask him, did you pick the chocolate or did the chocolate pick you? He'll get a kick out of that story.
for folks who didn't read it, that is a fascinating point where it's like, did you actually choose the chocolate ice cream over vanilla, or did your taste buds pick it for you? And I'm very much in the camp of, yeah, we have our taste, we have maybe our built-in preferences, but at the end of the day, you have your reason to compete with those, say, built-in desires.
Right. The whole purpose of that article, and I don't know if you want to go there, and if we do, I think we should just go briefly, was to be critical of Pope Francis, who often rejected right from wrong, who was so, I could say, hung up on, or if I'll be more charitable, devoted to the concept of mercy, that he lost sight of right and wrong and lost sight of free will. And that's why, in addition to describing the week I spent at the Vatican, which was all about free will, and seeing him once in the hallway and once in the dining room and his reaction, I felt that the free will argument was something that the public needs to know. I heard very little of it last week. I understand it's his funeral. Everybody wants to praise him, but this is very, very serious when the Pope makes statements which can be interpreted as anything goes.
Right. And it's well, we don't have to dive too deep into that. My only comment last week, after we had our discussion last Tuesday, is I noticed on Friday, and this is just the world we're living in, it's thousands of years of tradition, seeing the Pope laid to rest. And there are people who are they're telling the people in the room, put away your selfie sticks. Stop trying to take a selfie with the dead Pope. And it's, what a world we live in, where we do sometimes run headlong into that tradition, but all the new stuff, like, where did the respect go?
You know, when I arrived at the Vatican guest house to spend a week there, this is just a year and a month ago. So this was early March of 2024. The Swiss guard said, if you see him, don't touch him. Don't call out his name. And then they emphasized, and for heaven's sakes, don't take a selfie. So I guess he hated, when he was alive, selfies.
I love it. I love it. Now, I look at the news today, and I don't know if anybody's asked you about this yet. What do you make of the Canadians in their election and where Canada is in this world? Obviously, to me, it seems like this election became strangely a referendum on Trump, of all people.
It did become a referendum on Trump, in part because of his crude way of demeaning Justin Trudeau, and in part because of his saying Canada would become the 51st state. I mean, that is such a practical impossibility. If it were to happen, the Democrats would control both houses of Congress. So I'm not so sure where that would be going, and it could never happen without consent. But I think that those comments, plus the tariffs, were enough to raise the ire of most Canadian voters in favor of this liberal central banker who has promised to take Trump on. It's a shame. I mean, Canada and the United States were always the closest to friends. I don't know why Trump had to pick this fight. I don't know why he's had to pick many of the fights he's picked. But I think that their reaction, I mean, I wouldn't have voted for Mark Carney in 100 years. Mark Carney is the former director of the National Bank of England. I mean, this guy is like the head of the Federal Reserve. This guy is a strong believer in a central economy. But I can understand the reaction of Canadians and their actual revulsion at President Trump.
Now, and I want to move over to here back at home. Interesting headline, and maybe I'll broaden this question after I read the headline. University of Pennsylvania violated the law, claims the Office of Civil Rights, by allowing Will Thomas to swim against women. Went by Leah Thomas. They're ordered to rescind all awards and records given to Thomas. Do you think, just on first blush, this is a proper use of civil rights law?
Well, the article is incorrect because they didn't break the law. They broke the president's interpretation of the law. And under our system, it is the courts that have the definitive interpretation of the law. So the proper question before a court, and it's, as far as I know, it's not before a court, maybe it is somewhere, is a person who surgically alters their body permitted to compete against the same gender to which he claims he has become without violating federal civil rights laws? There's no answer to that yet. It's interesting. When the civil rights laws were written in 1964, an interesting conversation with Justice Scalia about this. The statute, the Civil Rights Act of 64, among many other things, prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex. So I said to him, I said, sex really means gender, doesn't it? He goes, you're right. It would have been better if they said gender because, quote, who knows what the hell sex will mean in the future? Well, this conversation was 15 years ago. The last time the Supreme Court looked at the Civil Rights Act of 64, my buddy, Justice Gorsuch, the libertarian, said they used the word sex. Sex means everything sexual. Therefore, the Civil Rights Act of 64 protects LGBTQ+, even though it doesn't say it, even though that was the farthest thing from the minds of the authors. There was no LGBTQ+ movement in 1964. That's what it means. So I can't predict how this Supreme Court will go in litigation, like whether, I forget what Leah Thomas's birth name is, but whether this person who now goes by Leah Thomas actually did violate civil rights laws, or whether the University of Pennsylvania actually did violate the Civil Rights Act of 64 by allowing the competition.
Now,
interesting that Trump is going after Penn because he is a graduate of Penn.
Absolutely right. And well, it seems they're going after a lot of higher ed, as we talked about last week. And I guess I have a very general question. Everybody's doing this 100-day review. What do you make of the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, and what she and the DOJ have done? And I suppose this could dovetail into the big topic at the end of last week, arresting some of these judges at the state level.
Well, Pam Bondi is getting extremely low marks in the legal community and off the record in the judicial community as not being a serious lawyer and not being an independent thinker and just doing whatever the president wants. Now, in fairness to the president, he's the president. He gets to appoint his attorney general. We once had a president who appointed his brother as the attorney general. That person may have been the best attorney general in the modern era, but he was the president's brother. Would he have had the fortitude to say, I'm not doing it, Jack? I don't know. Pam Bondi does not have the fortitude to say no. My piece this week, which you'll have shortly, which comes out Thursday night, is called Arresting a Judge. I condemn it for a variety of reasons. This effort to intimidate the judiciary will lead to a constitutional crisis and the loss of personal liberty. You're telling me that I can't decide what door of my courtroom a criminal defendant goes out of, and if I choose the wrong door, I'm going to get indicted? Where the hell is that from? The feds were just frustrated that the judge would not help them arrest someone in her courtroom. Well, guess what? Under a Scalia opinion called United States versus Printz, Printz, 1997, the states do not have to help the feds, and the feds cannot commandeer the states.
Hear, hear. And before I let you go, I know you're always covering a lot of different topics on judging freedom. Your show, who do you have coming up, and what should folks tune into?
Oh, I have two of my superstars coming up this afternoon. These times are Eastern, but at 2 o'clock, Colonel Douglas McGregor. At 3 o'clock, Colonel Karen Kwiatkowski. At 4 o'clock from Moscow, Professor Jeffrey Sachs. And we cover what we usually cover. How close are we to a regional war in the Middle East? And do Marco Rubio, General Kellogg, and Steve Witkoff know what they're doing negotiating with the Russians? General Kellogg made a proposal which was dead in the water, and it's beyond me why he even made it, that Ukraine would become a protectorate of NATO, much like Germany was after World War II. Dead in the water. An insult to the Russians even to offer that.
Yeah, I'm just a layman, a jackass here on the local radio in Alabama. That sounds absurd. Hearing that, that's ridiculous.
You may be a layman, but you're far from a jackass. First of all, you're my dear friend. I do have friends that are jackasses. But I don't need to hang out more. I don't say in public who they are.
Well, Judge, always love your time here on the program. We'll do it again soon. Thank you, sir.
You got it, my man. All the best.
Again, folks, that is one, the only Judge Andrew Napolitano. Always appreciate his time. This part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And at Dillon Rings, they are ready to help you with any and all of your jewelry needs. They are a full-service jewelry shop. It could be you're looking to get something repaired, something you love, and you need it fixed. Could be it's like a watch repair. You need a new battery for the watch. Could be that simple. Could be you want some custom design work done. Like you want to pop the big question and you want it to be a truly unique engagement ring. They've made a few of those this season already, also for one in the family. And of course, they have an amazing inventory, amazing selection there at Dillon Rings, from high-end to everyday jewelry items that, looks great. Won't break the bank necessarily or break your heart if you're out down at the train shed downtown eating some crawfish and you get a little too excited and you mess up that piece of jewelry. It's not the end of the world, but it look great while you're wearing it. Point is, they can do it all. They have it all there at Dillon Rings. Stop by today at 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery. That's just off Atlanta Highway, sort of the back end entrance to AUM, that whole complex. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie Ryder that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. We'll tell you more about him coming up a little later in the program. In studio with me now, we have Eddie Bader and Byron Sheehy. How you gentlemen doing today?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Good? Pretty good?
Decent.
Everybody's all right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like hearing that. There's so many headlines. We covered a few there with Judge Knapp, but y'all see the Canadian elections.
Yeah.
Polyev lost his seat. He not even got close to being the prime minister. He lost his own seat. Holy crap.
I don't want them to be the 51st state. We don't need another California.
Well, I know. And then some folks are like, well, what if Alberta tries to secede? Quebec's always talking about that. And Alberta is the most United States of Canada. It's where being told what to do by the rest of the country.
When they finally get tired of paying for everything for everybody else.
A lot of folks in there ain't going to do squat.
They're Canadian, so who knows?
It is true, I think, that Trump indirectly helped the liberals. Maybe Trump wanted this. Maybe he wants that foil. But here's what Trump put out last night as people were voting. Good luck to the great people of Canada. Elect the man who has the strength and wisdom to cut your taxes in half, increase your military power for free to the highest level in the world, have your car, steel, aluminum, lumber, energy, and all other businesses quadruple in size with zero tariffs on taxes. If Canada becomes the cherished 51st. And why there's a period after 51st, I don't know. If Canada becomes the 51st state of the United States of America, no more artificially drawn line from many years ago. Look how beautiful this landmass would be. Free access with no border, all positives with no negatives. It was meant to be. America can no longer subsidize Canada with hundreds of billions of dollars a year that we have been spending in the past. It makes no sense unless Canada is a state.
No.
That's what Trump put out last night. And of course, the guy who ended up winning, Mark Carney, he ran on exactly that. Like he's offensive, and this is the whole economic order and world order is just we're not going to have that strong relationship.
Put another
with the US.
soft leader in. That's what we need.
Well, I think the outside presentation is soft. I think the end of the day, though, Mark Carney is going to be more of a strong man than the Canadians ever fear Trump being.
Yeah. In what way?
They put on this kinder, gentler, liberal face, but who has arrested thousands of people for posts online? The UK. Oh, that's coming to Canada. Who sees people's bank accounts when some folks saw the protest?
Canada.
That would be
100%
Canada.
Yeah. 100%.
Who has all these crazy human rights councils? And you're like, how could that be a bad thing? No, it's all this like extra thing where they can regulate every nook and cranny of your life for things that you don't believe in. They will force speech. This is what made Jordan Peterson famous. He said, I'm not saying your damn words. You're not going to control my tongue. No. So, and also Mark Carney is big on net zero emissions.
That's good. Good deal. A place like Canada needs that.
I'm just saying doing stuff like that.
Do more for our economy than
Thank
just about
you.
anything
Doing
else,
stuff
you
like
know?
that is more tyrannical than anything Trump can necessarily come up with.
Yep.
I was wondering how we were saying the Quebec people or a bunch of faux Canadians were kind of, or faux French folks were the most conservative group of people up there. So now I know it's a sliding scale. Got it.
There you go. And Carney, we got a clip. We might be able to stomach it a little later,
right,
giving his victory speech. And we'll see. Judge Knapp's right about that. He's former Bank of England guy. He's, just these are globalist elites that
100%.
like to wear sheep's clothing, that we are compassionate. And we're all these, no, y'all are wolves at the end of the day.
Trash.
And I guess this is what happens when you have a state-sponsored broadcasting company. The CBC and the BBC can go right to hell. Like, really?
What about us?
You call yourself free countries and you have this big propaganda arm that echoes the corporate state interest?
Man, if they
NPR much?
if they stay on
PBS much?
all this kind of woke stuff, that's just going to kind of trickle down below the border. And I think a lot of our national Dems are going to keep harping on the same things that lost them the last election. So from that vantage point, keep it up.
Well, to me, business is going to kill them when they can. If I own a business, and look what's happening up there, they're already looking to come to the U.S. The only reason they're in Canada is because, hey, we wanted to be #1 car dealers in Canada. So they put plants there. Other than that, there's no other reason. Now, if the money is better to build here, guess what they're going to do? They're going to come here. So I invite that kind of thing. Zero emissions, you bet. You bet.
Go for it.
Heck
Yeah, go
100%.
for it.
I love having a clean top hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very long view. I like it.
Yeah, you're thinking it through, Eddie. I like it. You look good today.
He's on his game this morning.
No. No. Way off the game this morning.
Oh, and also, did you see what Amazon did today? Amazon put out, they're going to have like the tariff or the import price right next to the.
I did see that.
They've walked that back already.
Right. They said it's a misunderstanding and Trump is pissed. Caroline Levitt, I got the clip saying this is a hostile and political act by Amazon. And the reporter's like, is Jeff Bezos not in love? It's like, we're not going to speak to Bezos right now.
I did see what a huge grocery store chain, darn it, I think it's Albertsons, but I could be wrong. They have already announced that they've told their suppliers, do not put the tariffs on our end. Do not.
Yes, of course.
You're going to absorb the tariffs or we ain't buying your crap.
Right.
And I love that. They made a statement. They let the world know.
Right.
Don't try it.
Yeah. If you want to lose a bunch of market share,
and
try to do that.
That's exactly what, I mean, they put it out. And they're I think top 6 grocery store chains, and they own a bunch of them. But I was great to hear that an American company said, hey, I'm supporting the president in the sense of, don't you dare try to put those tariffs on ours. You're going to eat it or we're not going to buy it.
Now, you want to know how many federal workers have been fired in 3 months or taken that early?
Yes, please.
121,000.
I've met several.
Which is small potatoes.
Small, but I've met several that I guess are on the bubble.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of starting to feel a little bit for them because they're just the uncertainty of what's happening. But as of now, they're still employed. But if that's me, just like I was at a factory one time, you could see the writing on the wall. It was getting ready to close.
Right.
I didn't wait for them to say, hey, guess what, folks, we're closing. I looked around and said, hey, I better get off this ship long before it takes on too much water. Why would I wait around?
For me, though, it's more the principle of the matter. This idea that if you get a federal job, which there's over 2.2 million federal workers in.
Good Lord.
Right. So 121,000 ain't nothing.
Good Lord.
There are 2.2 million federal employees in the executive branch. And these are Doge numbers. You can go to doge.gov. The best stuff about that website is you can see like how the government's organized. Like they've done a lot of great work. So 121,000 is not a lot. The idea that if you get a federal job, you can never.
It's life, baby.
It's life.
It's life.
You're like a judge.
Yeah.
Right. No,
life,
that's not.
baby.
You're like a senator. This is nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Have you ever met anyone that was a federal employee and got fired?
No.
Neither have I.
I don't meet
think
people,
about it.
honestly.
Yeah, but have I. I've known some that have left, but I don't know of one that's, and I'm sure there's a million that's going to call me today, but I don't know.
Oh, right. No, and I've had people get in touch with me and I talk to them. And like, I can understand
nice
your own personal situation, but there are moments in life where it's like, we don't need you to do that thing. Like, we really don't. And it's not your cheese. It's the so-called people's cheese. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Is there a breakout of where they came from, percentage-wise?
I could pull it up and actually look into the details here. But nearly 100 days in, and this is CNN's write-up, wide-ranging and chaotic firings across at least 30 agencies. By sheer total, the Department of Veterans Affairs has plans for the largest reduction in force, at least 70,000 people, which accounts for nearly 15% of total staff. Wait, 70,000 is only 15% of total staff in the VA?
Yeah, I can see that in the VA. But okay, here's my thing though. When they do eliminate these 70,000, I don't think things can get worse with the VA.
In terms of administration?
Yeah.
By the way, coming up at about 2 o'clock, a little after 2 o'clock, Congressman Barry Moore rejoining these airwaves. Look forward to talking to Barry. And we're going to ask him about what appears to be a wide open Senate race here in Alabama if Tuberville is in fact running for governor.
We'll see. They're still praying on it.
But
and I saw an interview last night. He said, you know what? We're trying to figure out what's going to be best for the country.
Oh, he's
not
still
just for Alabama.
He's still like doing interviews and saying, I'm praying about it.
Well, he didn't say praying this time, but they're talking about what's best for the people. And I appreciate that.
Right. Well, and of course, we're going to talk about with Barry Trump's first 100 days and stuff that's gotten done. But then also I'm going to press him on what's happening with the big, beautiful bill. What are the sticking points?
Oh, yeah.
What's the holdup here? Now, I'm not blaming Barry for it. I think actually Barry's on board is more than anybody up there in the Congress. But it's like
some insight.
Yeah, what's going on? Who's resisting this stuff? Who's trying to put a sunset on, say, tax breaks for Social Security and tips and overtime?
Yeah.
What's the sticking point here? What's the holdup?
Give me a name.
So we'll definitely get into that with Barry Moore and look forward to talking to him a little bit after 2 o'clock. But we got to hit this break first. This part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And they're the Goodson Group. Bo and his team are ready to help you, whether you're looking to buy or sell here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas. Bo has been working in the River Region real estate market for about 50 years now, which is pretty incredible. And he can help you, again, buying or selling, or maybe you're looking to rent out your home. They have that service available there at the Goodson Group Management Services. And the Goodson Group is also home of the Bo Goodson Real Estate School, one of the most highly acclaimed and accredited real estate school programs in the state, whether you're looking to be a more knowledgeable private player or looking to be a fully licensed real estate agent. There's something to that. Just go to the Bo Goodson Real Estate School. Check them out today. You can always go to thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. Great sponsor here of the program. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
It's time to show Mom how much you appreciate her with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Mother's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call, 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for Mom. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
They told us nothing but lies.
These timeshare thieves out there are terrible.
They bullied us.
Our timeshare is all a scam.
They stole from us. They were thieves.
I was completely taken advantage of.
Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group, and I know the tough spot you're in. Are you asking yourself, why did I buy that timeshare? I'll tell you why, because that presentation wasn't a normal sales pitch. It was a show to convince you that timeshare is a great investment. They told you it was available today and today only. They said you're foolish if you don't buy, and unfortunately, you believed them. We get over 3,000 complaints a week from folks just like you that were misled into buying a timeshare. Give us a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-935-3377. 800-935-3377. 800-935-3377.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdis. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Your nightly news begins with Fox 20 News at 9.
We start Fox 20 News at 9 with breaking news.
Putting Montgomery news first. Covering your news from all sides. Fox 20 News at 9 is Montgomery's original 9 p.m. news. Live reports from your community. Don't wait till 10. See what's making news tonight and what you can expect tomorrow. If it's happening in the capital city, it's happening on Fox 20 News at 9. Coverage you can count on.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. Even in the digital age, radio remains the most powerful reach medium for connecting with audiences. Its ability to engage listeners, reach a wide and diverse audience, and create real emotional connections sets it apart from other forms of media. Radio's adaptability and easy access ensure its continued relevance now and in the future. Want to learn how radio can work for your business? Visit BlueWaterBroadcasting.com. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. UPS announcing 20,000 job cuts this year, citing a decline in Amazon-related shipping volume. While reporting strong first-quarter financial results, General Motors says vehicle tariffs are prompting it to reassess its previous forecast for the rest of the year. There is speculation that President Trump at his rally this evening in Michigan will announce some tariff relief for the automakers. They've been appealing to the White House for a helping hand. Soft drink giant Coca-Cola has topped expectations for its first quarter and is sticking with its previous 2025 financial guidance, calling the impact of tariffs manageable. Amazon's first internet satellites are in orbit, 27 of them. The first of a planned 3,200 were sent aloft from Florida yesterday. This is some competition for Elon Musk's Starlink venture. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
No big surprises in our forecast. The month of April ending on a very warm note today and tomorrow with highs in the upper 80s both days. Partial sunshine. There could be some isolated afternoon and evening showers with storms roaming around, but most towns will stay dry today and tomorrow, and probably daytime on Thursday, with Thursday's high up to about 88 as well. Scattered showers and thunderstorms moving in on Thursday night into Friday as an important cool front moves through. Some really nice air behind it for the weekend with sunshine and lower humidity and cooler temperatures. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the program. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. And let's go to Papa B. Hey, Papa B, how you doing?
Okay. So I'm going to turn this down for you guys. I think I might be a little bit too loud.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. Well, how about that? So, I thought at first that Trump was, really making a mistake about, getting in the Canadian politics and everything. Every time he opened his mouth, he's driving on toward this liberal guy,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think he's kind of crazy like a fox type thing. It sounds like he wanted to do that. He obviously could tell what was happening.
Right.
They were pushing the opposite way. So they just went ahead and went all in on it to try to drive the Canadians to go ahead and choose this Carney guy,
Well, and also, Trump really does believe, the more I read on the guy's background and stuff, he does really believe in manifesting stuff, to where he'll bring up something that's ridiculous, that isn't plausible. Yeah. And the more he pushes it, the more likely it becomes. Now, is it plausible? No. But I think this is how the guy operates. Yep.
Well, yeah. Throw it down on the table. Throw down, Moses. Let's
yeah.
just throw a gamble. But for one thing for sure, it looks like he wanted the liberal guy to go ahead and win. I imagine to do exactly what y'all are talking about, to inherit all this bad stuff that's coming Canada's way, because $200 billion is that's real money to any country, I'm sure, but to Canada, that's like, if they don't get that, they really are in tough shape.
Well, and it sounded from Carney's speech last night, he's almost flirting with the idea of, I'll make a trade deal with China and with the Europeans.
Oh yeah.
And it's okay, man, good luck with that.
That's pretty good because Mexico's learning that lesson right now, where they made the trade deal. And guess what? They fired all the Mexicans.
While he also wants to cut his fossil fuel production.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, man.
Knock yourself out. Shoot yourself right in the foot.
Yeah. Hold your breath until you're green in the face.
Exactly.
Lay down and stomp on the ground and, see if that gets you where to. No, Canada is married to us, and there's just no other way around it. They might not like it. They might not want to, acknowledge it. And they certainly are pitching a bid over it right now. But in point of fact, they really they can't be Canada as we know it today without the United States.
Yep.
And that's just the short and the long of it right there. But now, I will say one thing about Judge Knapp. I've had problems with him in the past, Joey, but he seems to think that, by his rhetoric, that judges are above the law or something. They don't get to be you don't have to show deference to judges about, if they're breaking the law. Harboring and, aiding a fugitive. Well, that is a, felony offense. That's
well, I'm going to wait for his.
Law.
his whole piece to come out, because in our conversation, you seem to be referencing not that one, but the case in Milwaukee with Judge Dugan. And there is going to be a line. It's like, did you actively frustrate a federal action, or did you just not cooperate? Is where the rubber meets the road there.
Well, I was talking about the one in Milwaukee too. That we have accounts of what happened. I mean, she sent the agents to a room, had them wait there, went and got the guy and his attorney, hustled them out the back door. I don't know how you could interpret it any more than she was allowing and helping somebody to escape from justice. How else are you going to view that? I don't see any other way. How could she get around that?
If you did it, you'd go to jail. So what's the difference? Because she's got a black robe? Come on.
It's against the law. Nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. How many times did we hear that all through the last 4 years? And even afterwards, my gosh. So, nobody's above the law. Neither is this judge, and neither is any other judge.
Well, again, this will be played out in court, and there's a difference between trying to thwart federal action and just not cooperating with them, and that'll be kind of the rub of what the argument will happen in court.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
See you, Poppy.
Yeah, because there's all sorts of good things states have done where they don't cooperate with the feds, and they say, we're not helping you enforce your stupid laws, and I'm fine with that. I kind of believe in the most local is the best government. It's more, you get into these courtrooms, you actually have to get into the details. Like, you have the presentation by the attorney general and the latest, say, media reports, but let it play out in court. We shall see. The other one is more, to me, like what you're holding a known like gang member and all this. Yeah, that's a little more ridiculous to me, but we'll see. We shall see. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. Let's go to Robert. Hey, Robert, how you doing?
Hey, guys, for letting me on. The former caller probably done hit two of my three things that I want to say, but I'm going to hit on them both real quick. I love the judge. I've seen him on TV for years. In fact, he's sold gold to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he is wrong, and I think and being a judge, he knows that there's always two sides to every story, so he should be able to handle this like a man. But he is absolutely wrong. The Constitution doesn't even have these judges in it. And if they can't read the Constitution and understand that the executive branch is what's in charge of these things, then I don't know what to say about him other than if nobody's above the law, a district judge damn sure ain't above the law. And that's my 2 cents on that. And then my other 2 cents, well, I forgot the other point that the man made, but I wanted to talk about job loss. And, you can lose your job because a company says, hey, we can make more profit by making it in China and shipping it to America. That's one way you can lose a job. But when you work for the federal government and the government bloated by $2 trillion damn dollars and you get fired, it is for the best of America. Don't tell me you studying eggs to find out if you can transsexualize a damn rat. That's not good money spent.
No, but come on, Robert, be a man about it. There are two sides to every story.
Hey, I am a man about it. If I could make $100,000 a year fucking around with damn rats.
Hey.
We were having a good time.
I'm trying to make him a man. Hey, Eddie. Yo. Be a man about it.
Trying.
Be a man about it, Byron.
We got a long way to go, buddy. Long way to go.
Yeah, don't we all?
I mean, but part of the judge's argument, the Supreme Court case, I mean, the judge is an individual, right? I think the case was requiring a government agents or a state government agency not to do something or to do something in lieu of the federal government. They were just kind of pass the buck in that situation. I don't think that that's an apples to apples comparison here.
Yeah, but if it's a state judge who's like not cooperating in her official capacity in her own courtroom, then again, this is not something like I just like obviously.
Right.
But
obviously, it's just right. I don't know.
All right. If I go to work one day and I say, hey, I refuse to participate in this because y'all just made me angry.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do?
They'll probably fire you.
Next.
But
why is it any different in any other place in the world? Here in the U.S., you don't want to do the job, fine. We'll get somebody else to do it. What's the problem with that? Is she the only judge available with no one else to run?
Yeah, she's like, I don't work for the feds.
I don't care who else she works for. She works for me, you, and everybody else. But if she can't do what her job entitles her to do, and she's going to go on strike and jump up and down in the courtroom, I don't need you. Go back to kindergarten.
To me, it's a weird kind of
not being a man about it. You see the other side.
Thing. I mean, would they be holding her individually or the Wisconsin, state?
No, it's her individually.
Right. Yeah. So she can't say that she was acting in lieu of a state agency or a state department doing this. She did that as an individual. So I don't know if it's actually going to carry the same weight.
I'll be a man about it. You're fired. There we go.
272-9228. No, we'll see. Now, and all these, especially like me on the really violent cases where everybody picks a side immediately as soon as I'm like, no, let it play out in the court. I mean, sometimes you'll see something so plain damn obvious. Yeah, sure. But like, a lot of the stuff, let it play out in court.
I get it. But as someone who voted for Trump, the Trump agenda.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tired of all this BS. I mean, at what point, I'm tired of it all.
I share the frustration.
That's where I guess, and eventually, yes, somebody's probably going to get their rights trampled on because I'm sick of it.
Oh, I share the frustration.
Get out of the way. Progress is coming.
Well, whose rights are being trampled on?
That's the part I don't know.
Right.
I hear it's us, but I don't feel trampled.
Well, just channeling that frustration.
Yeah.
You go to the main guy in the White House who knows how to lay it down, Stephen Miller. He had one of those frustrated moments again.
Did he?
Yeah. I'm afraid his frustrated moments are still going to be so far above my head. I'm going to have to break out a thesaurus and look some things up.
Joey to interpret.
He is fairly clever. Let's listen in to Stephen Miller being asked a question outside the White House.
Best use of the administration's resources to be going after moms with young kids, basically?
Do you yourself have let's just pick an even number of, say, 10 million illegal aliens. Let's say that Biden released, I think it's closer to 20 million. Let's say he released 10 million illegal aliens into the country over the last 4 years. What percentage do you think we should let stay here of those 10 million?
I'm not trying to do a game show.
No, but I'm saying, but
if you think that's the best use of...
Well, hold on. But is it your view that if a Democrat president releases 10, 15, 20 million illegals into the country, they all then should get to stay forever and for all of life?
Stephen, I don't have a view about what Democrat presidents do. I'm asking what the Republican president
so you don't want to answer the question because the answer is obvious. Everyone that Biden let in has to go home. Of course. I mean, it's a crazy thing to even ask. You think we should give administrative amnesty to some subset of the illegals that Biden... Here's how we're prioritizing it. ICE is going to continue to focus on raids against high-threat criminal aliens. We're going to use the entire force and power of the federal government to get them all home. Many will choose also to leave voluntarily and take advantage of the CBP Home app. But we are not going to ask taxpayers to subsidize the presence of a single illegal alien in this country.
Man, Miller does not like suffering fools lightly.
I'm glad.
I feel like he's constantly trying to explain things like he would do a math problem to a...
He has to Fisher price it down for him. And they're doing that with intent. Just got to slow things down.
Yeah, that's absolutely what's going on here. I mean, we'll see.
And the beauty behind the subset of singling out some of Biden's program. I mean, that was very clever. Loved it.
272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. Before we hit our top of the hour break here, we got a few minutes left. Trump, people were wondering, why does Trump continue to sit down with the legacy media, with the old corporate hacks? For instance, why does Trump sit down with the Atlantic? And the answer from Caroline Leavitt the other day is he likes a fight.
I say he seems to enjoy it.
So, he did a big, long thing with the Atlantic, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but 5 key quotes from Trump's interview with the Atlantic. It's the Atlantic's June cover story. Donald Trump is enjoying this is the name of it, which is actually a pretty interesting headline. It lays out Trump's thinking in the lead up to his return to the White House. The magazine asked him about his embattled Pentagon chief. Hegseth, really, the knives are out for that guy for whatever reason. Maybe when you're kind of tasked by the president to fire a bunch of 4-star generals and change like command structure, people might not like you very much. But also Trump's immigration crackdown, they are saying it's unpopular. Really? Is it unpopular now? Unpopular with whom?
Right. Good question.
And if he'll really seek a third term. The president met with representatives of the publication that, of course, dropped that whole Signalgate thing. But here are the 5 key quotes from the president's interview with The Atlantic. I run the country and the world. I run the country and the world. Asked how his second term is so far differed from his first, Trump said, the first time I had 2 things to do, run the country and survive. I had all these crooked guys. And the second time, I run the country and the world. I'm having a lot of fun considering what I do. You know, what I do is such serious stuff. A third term would be a big shattering. Huh? Trump told the magazine it would be a big shattering, a 2028 run. He continued, well, maybe I'm just trying to shatter. But Trump added, it's not something that I'm looking to do, and I think it would be a very hard thing to do.
No doubt it would be.
That follows his comments from last month when he said, I'm not joking. Yeah, people often say I'm not joking, and it's also funny. Of course, it would violate the 22nd Amendment. There'd be also, it would be.
The man's been in for 100 days.
Right.
And how long have they been pushing this narrative?
Right. The billionaire class has largely bowed to Trump in his second term. He described the mega-rich taking a friendlier posture as just a higher level of respect. I don't know. Maybe they didn't know me at the beginning and they know me now.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Of Amazon's founder, Jeff Bezos, Trump said, he's 100%. He's been great until today with Amazon's whole thing. But you, as you said, Byron, they're already backtracking on this. Yeah. Trump also praised Mark Zuckerberg. And did you see the Theo Vaughn clips of it, at least? Theo Vaughn was Zuckerberg?
Yeah, I got a little.
I caught some.
Theo is so freaking funny, man.
Yeah, but he, and they were actually, I think the clip I caught, and I might have sent it to you, they were talking about social anxiety and being there. I couldn't tell which one was honestly more awkward.
I know.
They both felt, just in that moment, they both were like, I would rather be anywhere else at this particular moment.
At one point, he asked him about like one of your guys, like a Chinese guy, and he was like, "Yeah, man, yeah, man." And it's like, and he showed him an AI image of Zuckerberg, and he goes, "I think this looks great, man." And Zuckerberg's like, "I hate it. I don't like it." I'm like, well, thanks for telling me, man. Well, that was OpenAI. I'm sorry. Take it down.
Right, take it down.
He's so freaking funny. Well, and Theo Vaughn is again this guy.
Is cocaine a stronger up? Yeah. So you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying?
With the president.
It's funny that you keep playing that. You love that so much.
I do.
I saw an interview that Rogan gave or it was one of his podcasts, but they mentioned that specifically and how much they thought that one single moment contributed to Trump's success in reaching new voters.
Talk about humanizing somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, just
exactly.
And so many people could relate.
Oh, exactly. Where Trump went on about his brother.
Yeah.
And Theo talked about his own addiction. No, it's funny. Like that's a funny moment, but it's also, it's real. It's not something you normally get in politics.
Yep.
Which I thought was beautiful.
But one of the funniest things, they just podcast that Theo he was doing the other day, somebody suing him for $30 million. And he goes, dude, I drive a Ford Ranger. Why are you trying to sue me for $30 million? I don't have that kind of money. And I forget who his lawyers are that sponsor him, but they said, look, if you didn't take this seriously, they would just find summary judgment and you'd be out. He's like, I drive a Ford Ranger.
We call that judgment proof, I believe.
Yeah.
Before we close up for the top of the hour break, Hegseth will get it together, says Trump. Despite fallout from the signal scandal and turmoil at the Pentagon, chaos. I love these words. Trump has stood by embattled Defense Secretary Hegseth. I think he's going to get it together. I had a talk with him, a positive talk, but I had a talk with him.
That's telling comment, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Trump also said that Mike Waltz, his national security advisor, accidentally added the Atlantic's editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg to the group chat, was fine despite being beat up. And Trump also said nothing will ever be perfect. He was pressed on his administration's effort to deport undocumented immigrants without due process and possibility that a legal resident or American citizen could accidentally be removed. A hypothetical that advocates have already said or has already happened. He replied, "Let me tell you that nothing will ever be perfect in this world." Well, actually, I think that's the philosophical Trump there, the pensive Trump.
Very true.
I don't mind it. Well, let's hit the top of the hour
All
break.
right.
Second hour coming up.
Joey Clark.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President Trump is holding a rally in Michigan. To mark the first 100 days of his second term, he will be staging his largest public event since returning to the White House. The White House says the president will be signing an executive order to relax some of his 25% tariffs on autos and auto parts. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation projecting Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberal Party has won the federal election. Authorities say they believe a crash through an Illinois after-school building that killed 3 children and 1 teenager was not targeted. A car left the road, traveled through a field, and smashed through a building in Chatham, outside Springfield, Illinois, on Monday afternoon. Stocks are higher, the Dow up 283 points, the NASDAQ adding 30. This is SRN News.
Financing a home, especially in today's market, is one of the biggest decisions you'll make for your family. Work with a mortgage company that puts you first. I do. Work with a lender founded on biblical principles like do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. I do. It's Mike Gallagher for the only mortgage company I've used for almost a decade now when financing or refinancing Fellowship Home Loans. I'm friends with the owners, Mike and Brian. I even have them on my show occasionally. I know the care their team puts into every single customer. I can personally tell you that it's a smooth, stress-free process. And that's due to Fellowship's level of service and expertise that puts you in the right loan for your family and your goals. There's a reason Fellowship Home Loans is flooded with 5-star reviews. Whether purchasing a home or a cash-out refi to consolidate some higher interest debt, you can trust Fellowship Home Loans. Start the process. Make the call. 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
Rich Thomas weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend. Must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather.
No big surprises in our forecast. The month of April ending on a very warm note today and tomorrow with highs in the upper 80s both days. Partial sunshine. There could be some isolated afternoon and evening showers with storms roaming around, but most towns will stay dry today and tomorrow, and probably daytime on Thursday, with Thursday's high up to about 88 as well. Scattered showers and thunderstorms moving in on Thursday night into Friday as an important cool front moves through. Some really nice air behind it for the weekend with sunshine and lower humidity and cooler temperatures. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE's 25 and 25 has you covered. For just $25 in closing costs, you can tap into your home's equity. No hidden fees, no headaches, just extra cash. Visit your local ASE Credit Union branch today. Federally insured by NCUA, NMLS 420259. Terms apply.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your cause, your ASE.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A new bill in the Alabama Senate could soon prevent vulnerable households from having their utilities cut off due to missed payments. Senate Bill 340 applies to times of severe weather, cases where children under the age of 12 or seniors over 65 reside in the household, or if electricity is necessary for medical purposes. Montgomery police have identified the woman killed in a late Sunday night shooting. Officers responded to the 4700 block of Parktown Way just off Troy Highway, where 31-year-old Calentia Mitchell was pronounced dead at the scene from a single gunshot wound. A death investigation is underway. No additional details have been released. The state announced the construction of a new 4-lane divided highway project on Monday. The West Alabama Highway will connect Thomasville in Clark County to Moundville in Hale County, eventually completing a nearly 200-mile-long corridor linking the cities of Mobile and Tuscaloosa. The project is part of the Rebuild Alabama program funded by state gasoline taxes. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Have you been thinking about selling your home? Let me ask you, would you want to trust your biggest investment with a part-time agent? You know, the kind who can't make your property a priority until after work at their real job? I'm Hannah Grantham, and you don't get that with us.
That's right. And I'm Eddie Bader. And if they're not focused 100% on your home, can they really even get you top dollar?
I couldn't agree more. We're top producing agents with a reputation for getting results. No side gigs here at Forest Meadows Homes and Land.
So call us today at 334-368-6358 and let us show you why who you have on your sign really matters.
Adams Drugs has been committed to the healthcare of the people of the River region for over 62 years. We value the trust each customer has in our pharmacists, techs, and entire staff. If you have not experienced the difference of Adams Drugs and are not satisfied with the customer service that you get in the big box stores, we invite you to visit any of our locations and see how committed we are to your satisfaction. Adams Drugs offers a variety of services that you will not find in all pharmacies in the River region. Personalized compounding, area-wide delivery, wellness screenings, immunizations, medication consultations, and specialized packaging, just to name a few. Visit us at our website, adamsdrugs.net, and find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs has 12 convenient locations to serve you. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Adams Drugs is your local Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Second hour of the program. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. It's 334-272-9228. Eddie Bader and Byron Cheeky here in the studio.
What up, dog?
Well, just bobbing my head to this one.
Kangaroo music. Yeah. Hey, did you hear about Missy?
I did hear about Missy.
I know we didn't comment on it, but
Kay Ivy's Missy?
Yeah.
No, we don't deserve dogs, man.
Nope.
They're the best thing.
Mm-hmm. This weekend, I kind of noticed. It's funny. My dog. She's very anxious. She don't like not to be around us. I should bring her here more, but this weekend, she's such a good dog. She getting in and out of bed, and I knew something was up. And then finally, she just went downstairs and stood by the door at like 2 a.m. And okay, something's obviously up. So I went down there. I open the door. She goes, take off running, pukes her guts out for 5 minutes. Yeah. And then comes back. Okay, I'm good, Dad. I've never had a dog that would be in bed. I've had dogs be in bed with me. They just puke right there.
Right.
They just.
No, but we don't deserve them. They're so great.
We don't.
Well, my aunt and uncle just got a brand new golden doodle. Oh. And it's more golden than it is poodle. And it's going to be about 50, 60 pounds. Big old paws on this puppy.
Yes.
Already, I love this dog. After meeting it twice, and lately it was, like a week or two ago over Easter. And man, such a cool dog.
My neighbor has one. It's the large one, the black one. And when she walks, it looks like she's walking a bear.
Oh,
and that dog loves to come over and play
But
with
they've got
Roxy.
the golden retriever personality.
They do, but they're smart as they can be.
Yeah.
And yeah, she loves the water. It's crazy. Her and Roxy, they just go in the water all day long.
Man, I have some really smart Labradoodles. Most of the ones I know are goofy. I mean, just
Oh yeah,
straight
it
goofballs.
depends on how much like they had one before that was more poodle, and
Yeah.
that was an odd dog. It was a great dog, but it was an odd dog. Like it wouldn't lick you, but it would get like right up on your face,
Just stop,
like snout right like a cat or something, but would not lick you. And I'm like, what is this? And it was a tiny thing. It was only like 20 pounds at
Yeah.
most. So I kind of like the bigger dog more, the golden,
Me
the
too.
silly, the goof troop.
Goofy,
in it.
yeah, that's me.
And man, we make a lot of fun on these airwaves, but when I did see the press release that Governor Ivey's dog Missy had passed, and like I said, we don't deserve them, and I know that's rough.
I know
it's
it
like a
is.
member of the family, man.
It is
truly.
Yeah, it really is, and that's something as you get older. I thought it would be easier, but it's not. It's even more of a marking on your heart having those animals. Yeah.
Well, I mean, as you get older, the old line in politics, if you want a friend, get a dog.
It's truth, man.
It tends to play out more as you get older because you really understand the value of friendship.
Well, and as a guy who's never really been, I'm a city boy, so I don't really have a lot of experience with like farm animals.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the internet, more and more people posting like raising farm animals. You're like, man, it's not just dogs and cats. Obviously, like the videos of cows and
the cows,
the
and
donkeys,
the goats,
and even the folks that are crazy that raise the big cats and stuff. And you just start to see the heart of these creatures and the personalities of them.
Man, I had to wrangle chickens last night at like 5:30.
What about chicken? What do you think about chickens?
Man, they're little devious, quick suckers.
That was my sense of it.
I was kind of
dealt with
surprised
chicken.
how easy it was to get them back in the coop, though. I mean, they gave me the runaround literally for like 2 minutes, and then they were like, "Okay, we had our fun. Back in the coop."
I just want to see you run.
While my brother was living in Dothan, they lit somebody near the apartment complex, near the medical center where they were living. It was off a pretty, a county road. So like right across the road is like some big farm. And every morning you'd hear that rooster crowing. Dadgum. That's a wake up call.
Yeah.
And I can just imagine like a rooster chasing you.
No,
I've seen those videos.
Oh yeah, it's hysterical.
Yeah, or it's like they are
It's
just
hysterical.
mean.
The kids will go play with the rooster and think, okay, I'm king, and the rooster turn on him. All of a sudden, that kid takes off running and screaming.
I made a comment to my buddy that it was his chicken coop. I referenced the big rooster that my grandmother had. I was like, that joker was so mean. We'd be out there playing, and all of a sudden, he starts
snap on you,
strutting around. And it was his backyard, man.
Yep.
272-9228. It's 334-272-9228. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's us?
Hey, this is Thunder.
Hey,
I
Thunder.
pushed the wrong button. I was trying to make Abigail and Molly and Duncan be quiet.
That's a challenge.
Oh, it is. It is. I'd like to go back to the Pete Hegseth issue.
Yeah.
And the reason within the Pentagon. Most people do not realize that once you get to a particular point in your military career, your advancement is 100% political. Over 70% of the people that work in the Pentagon are nothing but political hacks. Of course, they hate a non-commissioned officer walking in and telling them what to do. Of course, they hate a non-commissioned officer walking in and saying, you're non-essential, you're non-essential, you're non-essential, you're non-essential. You need to leave. And because you're at a certain point in your military career, your best bet is to just retire. 100%, they hate him because he can do that. They hate him because he's a non-commissioned officer, because he has worked his way to get where he is instead of sitting on their behind, which most officers after an E5, an E6, most officers that put on that, they do nothing. In today's reality, they walk into an office and they do essentially nothing. And they get paid for it. As a former maybe officer's wife, I am saying this because I saw it happen over and over and over again. Officers that are in charge of divisions, let their non-coms handle it. And as far as I'm concerned, Pete Hegseth is handling it excellently. The biggest problem he has is knowing who to trust up there. And it looks like there are very damn few people in the Pentagon that can be trusted. I'd shut that place down. I go to my individual divisions and say, clean up your mess or else. And I'd burn them all out. Every bloody one of them. Abigail, hush before I turn you out.
Like we said, we don't deserve them. I appreciate the call.
Abigail,
Thunder.
shut up, didn't she?
Yeah, she sure did.
That's the way I see that. Is,
Yes, ma'am.
is flat out. If these individuals are not willing to work with him, then they need to go get another job. And him releasing these individuals from their position is the best thing that he can do. So thanks a lot, guys. Pete Hegseth, keep up the good work.
Appreciate it, Thunder. I was just imagining Abigail there just going, amen.
No, I imagine her going, oh, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Tail went between the legs. She went under the chair.
Went over, yep,
No.
exactly.
No, not those little dogs, man. The little dogs are feisty.
I know those Chihuahuas are. They're nonstop.
Little Yorkies, too?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Clint.
Hey, Clint. How you doing, buddy?
Good day. Hey, I agree with Thunder. Once you make in Army, you make E8, enlisted 8, you become a politician.
Mm.
And you get away from soldiers. So I did everything I could to slow that promotion down for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to leave the soldiers.
Right.
You know, I'm not a politician. You know, and Hegseth, yeah, he's doing a fine job, in my opinion. So everything's good. And you want a real dog, get a pit bull. Get you a pit bull, blue nose. Well, I prefer a red nose. So,
all right.
They are beautiful.
They are.
They are absolutely
They are.
beautiful.
And they'll eat you up. They have to.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good day.
Appreciate
you,
it,
buddy.
Clint. No, and I've been around some pitties that were raised right.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you do always, I think, got to watch them around other dogs. But like,
That's
if
just
you
dogs
raise
in
them right,
general,
they're
yeah.
all right.
A friend of mine's dog, he'll take it over to his parents' house, and that pitty gets up there with mama, and he can't even touch him. He's like, this is my mama. Until it's time to go home, and then that dog pitches a fit. He has to pick him up and tote him to the car.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's just
they are sweet.
Yeah, it's just,
They're
and it's a
very
big
sweet.
pitty, probably 110 pounds, just a big fat boy. But it's so funny as he gets close to his mom, that dog kind of gives him the lip and a little bit of a growl. He's like, it's time for us to go home.
Yeah, the pit bulls are crazy like that because they're so affectionate to their people.
Yes.
And then so that protectiveness comes, I
A lot
think,
of
from
dogs
that
are like
affection.
And they just don't know their own strength. They're
like
they're huge.
My sense is like German Shepherds are great dogs, but German Shepherds strike me as like they're a little neurotic. Those things, they need a lot of exercise, they need a lot of purpose, or they go
High
a little
maintenance.
nuts. Yeah. Yeah, there's certain breeds that it's like, I don't know if that's a lot of work. A lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
They're great if you put in the work.
I forget the kind of dog Hannah's got. Bolognese or something like that. It's kind of,
Bolognese.
yeah. That thing is, you've got to be with it 24/7. I mean, it gets anxiety if she goes to the mailbox. So, yeah. Cool dog, though. And I've
don't
seen
want-
him jump like 7-8 feet just straight.
Is that the dog that like I think it's British Special Forces they
yes.
have?
Yeah. Cool dog, but so far it still likes me, so all is good.
All right. And your dog's a mutt.
Yeah, my dog's straight up mutt. It's Coonhound and Catahoula, I believe.
Yeah, big old dog.
Yeah.
Roxy's great.
Yeah,
though.
she's the best.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Good afternoon, guys. Pat.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Pat.
Boy, I don't want to get on Thunder's bad side.
She'll put that dog on you.
Yeah, I'm retired Air Force officer type, but I got to agree with most of everything she said. I was a flight instructor, and I remember when I was at officer training school as a training instructor, my boss he and I were the only two rated guys on the faculty staff there. And if you tried to get them to come, the rest of the staff to come in early before 7:30 to do a dorm inspection or to do any kind of athletic event or something before, you forget it. After 4:30, forget it. I remember one day Scoop looked at me and he goes, "These guys don't know what it is to hold a job, do they?" Because he and I, both instructor pilots, and early week was 3 o'clock shows, and late week you were there till midnight. You know, it just the 7:30 to 4:30 stuff didn't cut it for us. So, and then I agree with Clint. Once you make certain rank in any of the services, you got to be a politician.
You have to be, yeah. Right. You don't stay in. You have to be.
And it's sad because I've got a retired colonel friend here in Montgomery that biggest mistake the Air Force ever made was not promoting him to general. But he wouldn't be he didn't play the politics.
Yep.
Yeah,
the guy, best leader I've ever worked with.
Yeah, I've heard so many stories from my grandfather who retired, I guess, lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. And I asked one day, I mean, this was years ago, though, like, why didn't you go for a full bird? And he just like, no, man. Like, he wasn't interested. Well, and he knew what it was going to require, the strain it was going to put on the family to actually put up with that. And he's like, you know what? I think I'll just retire and go into the CAP.
There you go.
I mean, that's almost got to be like a second career choice if you're going to try to climb the political ladder.
Yeah, my father-in-law was Army lieutenant colonel, and back 78, 79 time frame, they called him up and said, "Hey, Gene, we got a great job for you in Saudi Arabia. 2 years, 2 years unaccompanied remote."
Unaccompanied.
Dad said, "I don't think so." And they said, "Would it make any difference if we told you we've seen the 06 list?" And Dad says, "Not one bit." And he put his retirement papers in.
Yep.
Well, and it's just too top heavy. You're going to always have that to a certain degree, but right now it's just way too top heavy, and it's overdue for some sort of reorganization.
So Pete needs to be keeping doing what he's doing, but like Thunder said, that swamp up there is just as deep in the Pentagon as it is in the rest of Washington D.C.
No doubt.
So
no doubt.
Anyway, y'all have the best day.
Hey, thank you, Pat.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this? Hello?
Hello.
Anybody there?
Is this me?
Yes, sir.
You.
Oh, so hey, this is Zachary Bigley, Mayor of Pine Level. How y'all doing?
Hey, Zachary, how you doing?
Good to hear from you. I'll admit I haven't been following in detail, but I know a little bit about. There's well, I'll let you explain it. It's over exit, and y'all expanding y'all's city limits, right?
That's right. Yeah, we're a new town. We're just getting going, and probably we're less than 2 years old out here in Napolitano County, near the exit 186 off of I-65. And we've just been growing and seeing just a lot of significant support and a lot of different landowners jumping on board and coming into the town. And well, long story short, we went with a legislative annexation, which would get us, got a letter from our fire department station. We have a second station off of Highway 31. And anyway, just got some support from the businesses and landowners, and decided to do a legislative annexation. And it went forward. Things were going real smooth, and man, we just got great news that it got signed off by Representative Jerry Starnes, and now we're looking forward to it going through the Senate and just seeing our town grow.
Good deal. Good deal. So you guys are going to be able to get control of that exit?
That's the plan. Yes, sir. That's the plan. That's the process that's happening. Just to give you all perspective, we're such a brand new town. Our yearly budget is like around $230,000. There's people that have jobs that make more than our whole town's bringing in a year.
That's Joey.
And so
I will punch you in the face, Eddie. I wish I was making that money. There you go.
I heard that, but it just gives you all perspective, man. We're not just this big wig city, man. We're just trying to get on our feet, and we're crawling. This exit, as y'all know, any town that has an exit, that's just such a huge asset for us. You got all the spring break traffic, future development, and we're trying to create something for our grandchildren and for 100 years down the line, so they can have. I'll give y'all what we're dealing with. $230,000 a year. We have one ball field out here.
That thing stays packed.
High level community.
Yep. It's a great one, man. And it stays packed. I've never ridden by there and not someone, if not a family, playing ball there. It stays
That's right.
packed.
That's the think about our community. I mean, we're out in the country. Look, I'm the mayor, and I say the word "ain't." You know, I'm not the most eloquent, but what I can tell you is our community. When we come together around a purpose, we're passionate people, and we stick together when we believe in something. And so we've seen that with this whole situation, and so we're thankful for the outcome so far.
Well, that's great, Zach. And I tell you, a lot of people might not know, but Zach is the first mayor of Pine Level, and this is not a paid opportunity. This is something he put his career to the side to lead the town. And I want to give you all the props in the world for that, because there's not many people that would do that. And especially you live it every day, every single day.
That's right.
So I can tell you, I appreciate it. My son lives just outside the town limits there, and you know as well as I do, I sell a lot of real estate in Pine Level. It's a great community, and it's honestly that's where a lot of people are moving up to.
Oh yeah, we're the fastest growing community in for sure Autauga County.
Yep.
I'm going to dare say the River Region.
Yeah.
And so we're here to stay, and we're growing, and we finally have a voice. So here we are.
Excellent. And it looks like, in terms of the politics, all this, it's smooth sailing here going forward.
You would hope, but it's politics, and so we'll see how this plays out. But it's got to finish going through the House, and then it's got to go to the Senate. We're on a time crunch, but from my communication with leaders, we hopefully should be good to go.
Excellent. That's good news, man. Really good news.
Yep. Yeah, I appreciate y'all taking time to let me talk.
No, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, sir.
Call us up whenever you want to, Zach.
Sounds good, man. Y'all have a great day.
You too, brother.
Zach Bigley.
That's good.
Mayor
That's really
Zach.
good news, man, because that was going to be a little bit of a struggle. So I'm glad.
Well, and if he's the
to hear.
very first, that is not a big
Imagine, Joe, you living in a town and you having two careers, and somebody comes to you and go, "Hey, we want you to run for mayor. By the way, it's not a paying gig, and you're
Right.
probably going to have to quit your other jobs, but you're the man for the job." And he took that to heart and did it. Ran a campaign, had competitors, and won.
How do we get our mayor here in the Montgomery to take on that price tag?
First off, you have to get the mayor to stay in town for one.
Well, I was just thinking, you get what you pay for. So
Oh,
that's not the going rate.
Don't even get me going, but yeah.
Sorry.
Lovely town we have here.
That's not Joey, by the way.
Well, and if they are growing, this makes just common sense. But of course, everybody's got to get their say. This is the process. So
One of the
we'll see.
funniest thing you can tell at a tiny town, they got a Piggly Wiggly. I went by there a couple weeks ago to get pizza for the kids. So I order a pizza like I want pepperoni, extra cheese, onion, da da da. The guy goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! We got cheese, we got pepperoni, we got sausage. There's your choices." So we went pepperoni. Everybody was happy.
You better have a little extra on Columbus Day, sir. All right.
That just cracked me up. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's go to line one here. You're on there. Who's this? Hello? Anybody there?
Nope.
Got a lot of shy callers today. I don't know what
Shy,
that is.
shy bladder.
Let's go to line three. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Donkey Lori.
Hey, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
You know you guys can't talk about dogs without me calling in, right?
Of course. You are our expert, honey.
I'm not on the road for the shelter today. I'm at home doing animal chores and my days in between. I do my deep cleaning and stuff. But I got two cool things to tell you. First of all, if you go on my Facebook page, Eddie can show you the cute little crew I have right now. I have 6 lab mixes, and there's 3 solid white ones in there. And then yesterday I brought home 3 solid white husky mixes. And they're about 7-8 weeks old. And I have an outside pen with kiddie swimming pools with water, and the other kiddie swimming pools have like sheets and toys in them, and I make shade for them and everything. So they have a grand old time. And they're actually on Doggy Park AstroTurf.
Really?
My husband's in construction, yes. So in the last job he did, they have a dog park at the facility. So he bought some and brought it home.
That's
so
cool.
They're not actually on grass. Oh, yeah, it's an easy cleanup. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Great for fostering. So they'll be out there until the sun starts to set, and then I'll bring them all inside and put them in a pen. So there's 9 puppies right now.
Oh, man. White as
They
snow.
are so cute. I mean, just so stinking cute.
They really are.
I'm showing the fellas here in the studios. I mean, they're just so stinking cute.
And then I have a foster, and she will be with us until the perfect home comes along. And if we end up being that perfect home, we are so down for it. But there's a fun fact I want to tell you about it.
Yeah.
Her name is Wiggles, and her sisters have already been adopted. But Wiggles, when she got turned into the shelter, they said she's kind of, unsteady on her feet. Well, after being checked out by a vet, come to find out the part of the brain that controls balance for her is underdeveloped.
Oh.
So I initially named her Tipsy because I called her my little drunk because she and if she got to lean into one side, she just spin out, and hit the ground.
Been there.
And when she was really little in the pen with her siblings, I caught the fact that I walked in and my water bowl was too big and had too much water in it, and she had spun out and landed in the water bowl.
Ooh.
So yeah, now she's a big girl now. She's 4 months old, so she's a bigger girl. We couldn't let her be, with kiddie pool with the other puppies because if she falls, sometimes it takes her a minute to get herself back up. So anyway, here's the fun fact. When she gets really excited, she prances with her front legs. Have y'all seen the TikTok videos or the reels of the dogs that walk funny and they do the music to it?
Yes.
I'm a happy
girl. Yep.
Fun fact is that as cute and funny as those videos are, the high percentage of those animals actually have a medical condition that causes them to walk that way.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So when Wiggles gets really excited, she does the legs and the hop,
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I just wanted to share that with y'all.
Oh, I think it's
my
great.
husband said I couldn't call her Tipsy. He didn't like that. So he named her Wiggles.
Wiggles works.
Wiggles, yeah. I get it.
Works.
Well,
Anyway, the shelters are full of animals. Montgomery Humane Shelter is full of animals. Elmore County is busting at the seams. I'm sure Prattville Otago is the same way.
Yeah.
So anyone out there looking for a pet, you wouldn't believe the breeds that come into the shelters, the doodles, the shih tzus, you name it, poodles, chihuahuas. It's crazy. So don't buy from a breeder. Joey, we know one day we're going to hook you up with your...
Oh, I know.
It's happening.
You guys have a great day.
You too, Lori. Thank you, honey.
Okay, bye.
No, I have been kind of itching for that, and my grandfather keeps saying, well, don't get one that sheds. I'm like, man, I'm the best one.
You bring him home a bald cat, and he will quickly tell you, go get something that sheds. This is creeping me out.
Yeah, we'll see. 272-9228. This feels way too wholesome.
I know.
We're not usually this wholesome.
No, not at all.
It's so much better than talking about some of the shenanigans going on. in Goat Hill,
Shenanigans is the right word. How about this? This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. Be a man.
There you go.
Got to be a man. See all sides of a thing.
That's right.
And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. They'll help you understand, yourself a little better, especially if you're just not feeling yourself. Like you're sort of haunted by past memories of your younger self. You're like, why am I getting so tired now? Like for no good reason. And maybe it's because I'm not sleeping well. Like I lay down for 8 hours, but I'm not like sleeping 8 hours. I'm wake up just feeling exhausted, even after what I thought was a good night's sleep. You're seeing I'm on weight gain, lost some muscle mass. You're never in the mood, no sex drive to speak of. Well, a lot of these symptoms, especially all together, could be signaling low testosterone. A lot of folks walking around, even young men in their 20s, and they don't know that they have low testosterone. They just sort of try to power through. Guys, get to the doctor. Get to Montgomery Men's Health. They'll conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. And they have low-T treatments there. If that is indeed your problem, they can truly change men's lives. Men, after these treatments, can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym. Brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism, and you usually even notice an increased libido. And you can actually book the same day that you call. And in fact, they have treatments that'll make you feel better that very same day. So y'all check them out today. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Jenny King, the king of clean, delivers reliable, high-quality commercial cleaning services through a proven franchise model that empowers local business owners. Jenny King's franchise owners receive the training, support, and resources needed to succeed, while clients benefit from tailored cleaning solutions backed by a global brand. Jenny King ensures consistent results, trust, and success for everyone we serve. Go to JennyKingCleans.com and find out how we can help you. That's JennyKingCleans.com.
Jenny King, the king of clean.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. You're thinking of selling your home. Here are several ways to improve the look of your home and possibly the value. Number one, improve the curb appeal with trim bushes and cut the grass. Repaint the exterior where needed, and if needed, paint your front door. Number two, declutter the inside of the home by removing items that are not needed off countertops, dressers, and the den. Three, paint walls and trim where needed with a fresh coat of paint in a light color that will show off your home. Four, clean your oven and microwave inside and out, make it shine. Number five, professionally clean carpets or shine the wood floors with a polish or Bono. Six, clean out all closets or unwanted clothes, shoes, belts, hats, and donate them to a local charity. Finish any leftover repairs now, doorknobs, light bulbs, and closet doors. For a complete list and an in-person evaluation and consultation, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by MPM Feed and Seed. It's time to get those gardens ready. From seeds to plants to fertilizer, MPM has what you need. Shop MPM Feed and Seed in Prattville, 1313 Highway 31 North, open Monday through Friday 8 to 5, Saturdays 8 to 1.
Rich Thomas Weather.
No big surprises in our forecast. The month of April ending on a very warm note today and tomorrow with highs in the upper 80s both days. Partial sunshine. There could be some isolated afternoon and evening showers with storms roaming around, but most towns will stay dry today and tomorrow, and probably daytime on Thursday, with Thursday's high up to about 88 as well. Scattered showers and thunderstorms moving in on Thursday night into Friday as an important cool front moves through. Some really nice air behind it for the weekend with sunshine and lower humidity and cooler temperatures. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Playing Eddie's favorite
I was just
song
gonna
of mine.
say, one day I'm gonna look, maybe when the door is there, and Celine will be coming in, and this will be your intro music. Because this, I mean, it's good, Joey. I'm not knocking you, much better than I could do, but this is a Celine song.
You don't like that
100%.
one?
I don't like it. I just am disappointed because I look around, I see no Celine.
I mean, I try to do a variety. You're more your. Got
Yeah,
more
you
Eddie
know
Bader
that,
right
you know
there.
that, man. You setting a trap for Eddie Bader right there?
Yeah, I think
That's
I
the
am.
jam right
You
there.
might get a wash for it in that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Give me a jug.
We're having a good old time down on Eddie Bader's lake house.
Yeah, that's something we need to talk about.
Don't
Might
talk
be
about
having
it,
a
be
4th of
about
July
it.
shindig.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So make sure you got something else to do that day.
I mean, but sometimes, Eddie, you contain multitudes, because I could also see you creeping. Like, say you got the kimono on, like you got to creep out to look on the deck, and then Eddie's just creeping over there.
If I'm wearing the kimono, I ain't creeping. I'm strutting.
Oh,
I'm strutting.
I'm just saying, you got that pimp walk going on to this, like, and you're feeling good about yourself.
I am. And thing is, warmer weather's coming, Joey. More people have probably seen me in my underwear walking around the deck the last few mornings than probably wanted to.
I was going to say, Eddie doesn't strike me as the closed kimono kind of guy.
Oh no, I need a breeze.
Yeah.
I gotta have a breeze going at all times.
It's one of my favorite business phrases: "Open kimono." It's like that's kind of racist and sexist all at the same time, ain't it?
That's a policy. Man.
Oh, it's
I'm
freaking
looking
great.
for a new hangout at that point.
272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. Hey, we don't always give enough time to what the Democrats are saying.
Okay.
You want to hear from a guy who might very well be running for president? That's J.B. Pritzker of Illinois, the governor there. He's
Never heard
giving
of her.
speeches like he's running for president.
Okay.
He's some fat guy.
I think he's written a book too, right?
He wrote a book.
I think that's always the dead giveaway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'll put it this way. J.D. Vance wrote that book long before people were talking about him running for political office. It's sort of like JFK, like Profiles in Courage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Hillbilly Elegy, remarkable book. Like, he's a fantastic writer. He has an incredible life story. The fact that it really is a memoir, all the ugly truth in it, that's something special.
That to me,
most of these books,
the ugly truth is what. Yeah.
Most of these books, you get a slight glimpse, but it's more composite, and it's the persona they want to present to you. They don't want to do anything dangerous or unsafe.
It's a polished turd, Joey, is what it is.
Well, that's why I liked when I was Mike Durant's books when he was running. Those were no holds barred, like, especially his experiences. And it's those books I appreciate. Like, you actually learn the good, the bad, and the ugly of the person, and you get the sense of who they are on the other side of it somewhat. Whereas, like, so many of these books, like Kamala Harris's book, I remember reading Mike Huckabee's book one year when he was running.
I want to know that they actually wrote the book or had at least had a hand in it, and it wasn't just some stupid ghostwriter to raise their
Ghostwriter, 100%. 100%.
Ghostwriter?
Ghostwriter.
Great show back in the day.
Oh, you're talking about the comic book character. Okay.
Yeah.
We were talking about somebody who writes a book for a person.
Those are frauds.
Well, no, but some people are never going to write a book, but they got a heck of a story to tell. And some of those books are some of the best.
Get audio.
Like a lot of these rock bands and a lot of, like, you have these talented ghostwriters that know how to distill down a crazy story. And
most of those I have, yeah. Most rock bands.
And they usually are great.
Have you read This World's on Fire?
Yep.
Love it.
Look, one of my favorite guys online, Michael Malice, started as a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
And I think his first one was called Concierge Confidential, where it was a concierge at some swanky hotel in New York City. And this guy had stories for days, but didn't have the means or like how to produce a book and put a book out. And so, you work with that. And then I think Malice went on to write one for Matt Hughes and then one for D.L. Hughley. And so it's like you get to meet these interesting people. You essentially help them tell their story in writing.
I
think it's a cool gig.
Kramer writing for Mr. Peterson.
That was a ghostwriter, right? Not an example. Am I wrong?
You're correct, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway,
Let's
here's
move along. And +2 for the reference.
Here's the fat governor of Illinois. I mean, am I wrong to call him fat?
He is plump.
Vertically challenged.
Let's listen in because this is like a very friendly crowd, very democratically dominated state. Let's listen in.
It's time for us to be done with optimism about their motives or their objectives. Time to stop wondering if you can trust the nuclear codes to people who don't know how to organize a group chat. It's time to stop ignoring the hypocrisy and wearing a big gold cross while announcing the defunding of children's cancer research. And time to stop thinking that we can reason or negotiate with a madman.
They didn't defund children's cancer research.
Thank you.
Good God, man. You try to cut down on administrative costs, you're cutting. Oh, good God. And let's just from the get-go, it's time for us to assume the worst of their motives. Oh, you just started doing that?
Well, what I heard is I hate Catholic people. I mean, if he wants to be absurd, that's what I just heard.
Right. Well, no, and it's like you just started now assuming, like the Democrats, especially during the 2024 cycle, they assumed the best motives of Trump.
Never.
Never
have, never will.
You literally called everybody fascists.
And Nazis?
Yes. But
And
now
dumb,
we're done with assuming the best motives. These people are just wrong. There's more. Let's let the fat governor finish.
Time to stop apologizing when we were not wrong.
You are.
Time to stop surrendering when we need to fight.
All right.
Our small businesses don't deserve to be bankrupted by unsustainable tariffs.
Like COVID?
Our retirees don't deserve to be left destitute by a Social Security Administration decimated by Elon Musk.
How did that happen?
Our citizens don't deserve to lose health care coverage because Republicans want to hand a tax cut to billionaires.
Wow.
Our federal workers don't deserve to have, well, a 19-year-old Doge bro called Big Balls destroy their careers.
Governor, Big Balls could run circles around you. Governor, Big Balls is a much more impressive person. Big Balls has more talent at his pinky than you ever will with that sort of crap you're spewing.
Yep.
Kid's incredibly impressive if you actually look him up. I think his name's Alez, his last name.
He's always Big Balls to me.
And it's stuff like that where I'm reminded that politics is often playing to the lowest common denominator.
What was his cause for the bankrupting of Social Security?
Well, no, it's the lie that they're just going in there and they're just cutting all the Social Security willy-nilly and whatnot, when the reality is, no, we're actually looking to account for the money. And
they removed people that were over 100 years old.
Right, but I guess the untenable path of entitlement spending and stuff like that is what I was getting at.
Or they're trying to correct the problem of when people would call up the Social Security Administration, half of those calls were fraudsters pretending to be actual beneficiaries. And they would often get through.
Okay.
And steal people's Social Security blind. So trying to secure the system more, you're now again labeled as throwing Granny off the cliff.
I'm so glad you brought this up. You remember you two guys and me a while back, we talked about totally just Social Security, no more buildings. Everything's going to be online. I can tell you why, with the example today, that's a horrible idea. My Airbnb account has been hacked.
Oh, yeah.
All right. For a solid week, I have not been able to get in it. I have called Airbnb every single day. They send me an email back that says, hey, we're working on it. If I could go down there and see a human and show them the issue, it's got to be an easy fix, but I can't. So at this point, I have to cancel my Airbnb. I have to close it down. But if there was a building or someone you could actually talk to get this fixed, they have no interest in fixing this. And this is a company that does this for money. The government ain't going to give a crap when they know it's just you or me on the other end of the phone. I'm tired of you today and I'm hanging up. You've got to have somewhere you can go and see an actual human.
I agree.
Especially when you're talking about.
No, our last argument about this, the idea was they send the human to you.
No, because just like with Airbnb and others, they'll make the promise. Yes, we'll send them to you. They never show. These emails that are supposed to come to fix this have never come. All I ever get is the sweet talk of the next person on the phone that says, oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Bader, you're right. This is so unacceptable. I am going to be the person to help you. I'm going to, hey, 5 minutes later, I cannot help you today. I'm sorry. I'm turning into a supervisor. If I could go to a building and see a person, this would quickly be solved. And this is just a little business thing. If I'm on Social Security, that means I'm at my last ends of life.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody on the internet can cut off my Social Security. And there's nothing I can do except to get these kind of answers that don't answer anything. They just keep you in a loop.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's incredibly unacceptable.
Well, I mean, what's going to happen also, a lot of these people who need help, they're going to start overloading the congressional offices and the caseworkers.
Another point.
And they're, to your point, they have to have a person help them.
You have to. But I don't buy in the fact we'll send somebody. That is putting it off on their timeline. I need this addressed today.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm willing to address it today, I will come to you. That has to be that way. It absolutely has to be. The world we're going in with the computers and I don't know, really sounding old, but the emails are going back and forth. It doesn't get things done. They are false promises. But if this person I was talking to knew that, hey, Eddie's probably going to come down here and see me today, maybe I can make an appointment, maybe I couldn't, but they know there's accountability for their actions, not just more, hey, we'll put Eddie off with the next guy who answers the phone and we'll apologize again.
Some sort of resolve.
It has to be. Has to be.
You know, that same fire, though, is exactly what people use to pull off fraud.
Okay. I don't think, and I could be wrong, I can't see a fraudster calling them people up every single day, begging for the same information, explaining the same situation. I had the lady read my notes today. It's exactly the same. For 6 days, there's not a fraudster in the world that would put up with it. They're there for the quick hit and be gone. They're not doing this. Crazy enough, Susanna's locked out too. Hannah is not. Hannah is like what we call like the third key or something on there. She's the least important person. We have her there in case something happens. She can still get all the emails. We can't. There's someone staying in that house right now that I had to go knock on the door to meet because I'm locked out of my account. They've essentially taken over a property. Again, if I could go to a business, plead my case, show these people who I really am, I think this would be addressed. But as long as they can keep you on that, next email's coming, or be on hold just a little bit longer, that's going to continue. That seems to be the future.
Who's the next company that's got market share besides Airbnb?
Oh, you got VRBO, you got all of them. But at this point, they're so big they don't care. You know, me leaving, in fact, I told the guy, I was like, if we don't get this resolved today, you're losing my business. The next email I got was, how to cancel your account at Airbnb.
Let me help you, Mr. Bailey.
Right. Which I'm like, okay, thanks, but this is not what I want to do. But obviously, this is the technique you guys have. This is the customer service y'all have. The government is going to be 1,000,000 times worse. These people are actually getting paid to resolve the problem. Your government worker, who we've discovered really can't be fired. They don't give a crap.
So the current system can't be improved upon?
Of course it can be.
All right.
But you don't take away the human face-to-face contact.
What if it's an office that has very few face-to-face contacts, but yet it still costs money?
If it's inefficient?
Like very inefficient.
No, then you got to close it down. However, I mean, I would drive to Birmingham today if that's what it took.
Sure. This is what
I mean, you got to do it within reason.
Yeah.
I don't expect.
Well, no, and the
Prattville
plan is
have
never
one,
to
but-
shut down every Social Security building.
Just take that show on the road, man. Get a mobile
No,
vehicle.
It's more like looking at
How's
certain
FEMA
ones
doing,
going
guys?
like, how
How's
much
FEMA doing? They're supposed to go to your door. They're supposed to go to your house. How's that working out?
I mean,
As somebody
I don't know if
that's seen the
FEMA's ever
FEMA
been
train,
suc-
how's that working
I don't
out?
think FEMA's
It's
been successful in
1,000%
anything.
garbage is what it is. 1,000% garbage. And no offense, guys, but you haven't been there, so you haven't experienced it. You're thinking, oh, these are humans and they're going to do it perfectly. No, they're not.
I'm not. I'm thinking that the current system is rife with fraud and also not working very well, and it can be improved upon.
I'm not saying it can't be improved upon. I'm saying you cannot take away the person-to-person contact. And I don't want to hear Charlie's coming to see you today. No, I'm coming to see Charlie. It's my money that put into there. This is my country.
I do think that, say we adopt his model, we could streamline it because most people wouldn't have to go in.
90% of them don't have to.
facilities, but for the people who need to resolve that day, okay, I'll grant you.
Yeah.
Keep one or two buildings.
No,
in the
but
state.
again, I think this is the idea. That if you secure more of, say, the phone lines and you make a better, say, website, then you can have a lighter footprint on the person-to-person on the side.
I think Eddie is more coming from the standpoint of most people can't program a VCR, so they're not going to be able to navigate that.
No, that's not it.
Okay.
The people that you call lie to you. They give no craps.
Right.
There's no accountability back to them at all. However, if I can go and see someone, there's the accountability. They have to deal with me.
It's not been my experience when I go see, like, say, our internet service provider.
I've gone to the IRS place over here, the brick and mortar.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that that person is any more
Empowered.
inclined to help me than me speaking to someone on the phone.
I disagree 1,000%.
I've sat there.
I'm not saying you have.
Yeah,
I'm saying the guy on the phone can hang up and nobody cares. The guy in the window, I'm not going nowhere till we close, and I'll be back tomorrow.
To your point about we can't get rid of that many of them, the person on the other side of that glass, no matter whether I walked out of there 100% satisfied or completely ticked off, they were going to have their job and next number.
Well, in general, what needs to happen across not just the government, but like what you just dealt with, and in general on the internet is ID security, because it's a huge problem. Like, I mean, and it's going to continue to be.
This is what's so frustrating. They go, Mr. Bader, we realize it's you. You've given everything.
Yeah, I was about to say you probably had to give them driver's
for whatever
license.
reason. We can't flip the switch.
Was it hacked that bad? They just don't know how to figure it out.
You tell me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that's the thing. They can't tell me. They can tell. I can look at your account. I can see there's no activity on there. So what about the person I just had to go knock on the door today and say, hey, I own this place. Who the hell are you? Oh, well, yeah, I guess I could give you their information. You guys are.
So they were able to book it still?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
where's the money going?
That's what we're finding out today, Joey.
Eddie,
and that's interesting. If Hannah still has it, then it means they went to the principals to try to mimic y'all, but you still have that third person.
And what we think triggered this was we got new phones.
Fascinating. Yeah, that's interesting. No, it may be in the data transfer.
Yeah, that's what triggered it, because you're going to have some. So you try to explain that. And again, Raji doesn't care. Raji doesn't need, doesn't care.
That's crazy. No, and my point isn't it's going to be perfect. My point is you can clearly find improvements in the system.
I'm not saying you can't.
And the larger point about Social Security is things like if you have all these numbers floating around, it's not just like Social Security benefits direct. It's all these other programs that people use the number for.
My point is do not over depend on sending someone to your house and the internet. No, I need a building. I need to be able to get resolved. Even if that's going down there and making a complete butthole of myself, to get press attention, you need to get resolved.
It just does seem like it is sadly the way things have gone. I mean, I've heard you talk about the banks.
Oh,
like even being able to go in person. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
know.
Like, so no matter where you try to, cut it, like you're still running into the bureaucracy.
The thumb.
Yeah.
It's a total thumb. Daylight saving time.
272-9228. I gotta hit this quick break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones. I think Josh is up first. Hey, Josh, how you doing?
Hey, good, Joe. Hey, well done. You hear me?
Yeah, hey,
we're
Josh.
doing
How you
okay.
doing, brother?
Okay, good. Sorry, man. I was just in my car. I'm leaving the house. I had to go to a neurologist appointment this morning, but I was jacked up. My legs ain't working right. Yeah, so I've been having a fun time with that going on for the past couple months. But about to go set a couple crawfish traps out.
Nice.
Yeah, and head out to Wisconsin and go visit my parents and wash clothes and whatnot. But no, I think you meant a Belgian Malinois.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's one I gave Shanna. I rescued. I gave Shanna Howard processor. I gave her one that I found as sweet as could be, but they require a lot of attention.
Yes.
And I mean, you're watching those videos. Those jokers will run a tree 20 foot tall.
Yep.
Grab the thing. It's nuts.
It is. It's funny. Hannah, like I said, she can't even go to the mailbox. She said she looks back, that dog having a fit. Just cannot stand to have that disconnection.
Well, guys, I gotta speed things along. I got Barry Moore calling in here.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate
See you,
it,
bro.
Josh. Great hearing from you, though, man. Yeah, just realize that we're up against this break. Y'all stay tuned.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The White House says the economy is getting stronger at President Trump's 100-day mark. White House correspondent Greg Clugston with a report.
The stock market is down and consumer confidence has dropped, but Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president is delivering on his promise to lower prices.
Prices across the board for everyday goods have seen declines since this president was inaugurated.
As for market uncertainty, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says that's good for Donald Trump's negotiations.
He is more concerned about getting the best possible trade deals.
And Bessent promises more price relief when Congress passes a tax cuts bill. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Foreign correspondent Charles Ledesma reports at Spain's largest train stations, droves of travelers waited this morning to board trains or to rebook tickets for journeys that were canceled or disrupted on Monday.
At Atocha station in Madrid, hundreds of people.
Your dog's diet should be as colorful as yours. Dr. Fido's is a dog food topper made with 40 ingredients made from whole foods, designed to enrich your dog's diet with a variety of fruits, vegetables, spices, and fibers. And the best part? Just stir into their food and you're done. It's that easy. Go to drfidos.com and order today. Vet developed, dog trusted. This is the human grade dog food topper that gives you peace of mind. But don't just take our word for it.
She's an Australian cattle dog on the farm. She's been used to work cattle and lots of miles under her feet. And she is happier on the Dr. Fido's. I've been super impressed.
Don't let your dog miss out. Call 888-388-PAWS, PAWS, or go to drfidos.com, drphytos.com. And for a limited time, order now and receive a 10% discount with our money-back guarantee by using promo code BALANCE.
1819 News.
A tax cut package that includes cutting down the state grocery tax is moving through the state Senate with encouragement from the Alabama Republican Party. The bill has already been passed in the Alabama House. ALGOP Chairman John Wall says that the party has been focused on real and lasting tax relief for the people of Alabama, families, seniors, and job creators alike. Wall also expressed appreciation for state senators who also have a vision for providing tax cuts here in the state. The state grocery sales tax would be reduced by 1% each year, taking it lower than the current 3%. The bill also increases the exemption amount for retirement plan withdrawals and reduces taxation of businesses. The state senators currently seem focused on moving these tax efforts forward rather than extending the exemption on the state tax on overtime hours. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Brian Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
A Mobile man has been given 5 years in prison by a federal judge for threatening to kill the Mobile County District Attorney. William Holmes made those threats last year by way of a letter to DA Keith Blackwood. Holmes entered a guilty plea to the charges and also has another prison sentence to serve out after being convicted of domestic violence and violating the Sex Offender Registration Act. A family member of the Geneva County Sheriff has been charged with stealing guns from the sheriff's office. Sheriff Tony Helms did confirm with WTVY News that 24-year-old Cody Johnson is a relative. He's being charged by the State Bureau of Investigations. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Final hour here, and as promised, and it's been way too long since I've spoken to this gentleman, we have Congressman Barry Moore here on the line. Congressman Barry, how you doing today, sir?
Joey, I am doing good. Can't complain. Got a pretty weather day here in Washington, D.C., and we're moving the president's agenda along. So things are nice right now.
Well, I want to start with that first 100 days. What do you think are the highlights of this first 100 days here?
Well, I think obviously the way that he brought Elon and Doge in, and they found the fraud in USAID and so many other areas people were receiving Social Security that weren't supposed to be, but at the same time securing the U.S. southern border, which is something he ran on. And if you look at March of last year, the numbers are down 95%. And the whole time that Biden was in office, and I'm on Judiciary Committee, and I'm on the subcommittee for immigration, they said, oh, we need more laws. No, we just needed a president, like he said in his sort of State of the Union, but also we just needed leadership. We didn't need more law. We just needed somebody who were really willing to enforce the laws on the books. So, man, he's doing so many good things. We're seeing the cost of goods come down for consumers. And I think, Joy, probably the most noticeable thing, and I think probably you would feel this way, and I'm sure your audience would too, is there is a respect and trust for the leader of this country, and he's respected around the world. We didn't have that under the prior administration.
Yeah, it is great to see the pace of everything, though. I am a little worried. I was talking about this last week, that things seem to have slowed down a little bit with the one big, beautiful bill. What's the holdup, and like what really are the sticking points? Because I feel like more speed, the better. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but what are you seeing from your perspective?
Well, I think for us, it was just getting all the committees. In other words, we said, okay, they want a one big, beautiful bill. And so we've got to bite at the apple. We want to make sure that the $1.5 trillion floor, the cuts that we're going to put in place, that the committees have understanding. And now we have the requirements from the bill itself and from the vote that says the instructions to each committee that here's what we got to cut. And so it takes some time, Joy, to pull all that together. And then you've got to get the members on the committee to agree to say, hey, we can achieve, like for ag, we're trying to find $200 billion in savings. Energy and commerce has got to find quite a few billion. And so all of us have to agree on how we move forward to hit that $1.5 trillion floor. And so this was one of those things that takes time to pull everybody together. And, so it's moving. It's just, we want to make sure we don't miss this opportunity.
Well, and I imagine, too, there's the whole Senate side of things. So it's not just the committees or, say, the different groups within on y'all's side of the chamber. This reconciliation progress, we're seeing the process they might land the plane in July is what I saw a report just recently.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. I haven't heard like a timeline, but I figure that makes sense. You got May and June and July, so probably so. It'll probably take us a good 3 months to get everything. And like I said, we're having to work with the Senate too, and this has to be policy changes that affect spending. And so many of us conservatives wanted 2.5 trillion in cuts, and some didn't want any cuts. And so when you've got different, within our own party, we have different factions, and you have to get an agreement. So we're able to settle on 1.5, and I think with what we're doing and what Elon's doing, we'll be able to get a balanced budget over time for this country, and that's going to be requirements for us to move forward as a nation.
Now, fun question. I think my favorite part of this first 100 days is Doge and Elon Musk, even the crazy over-the-top stuff with Javier Milei giving him a chainsaw and all that nonsense, him living out the meme. But have you had the chance to meet Mr. Musk?
Yeah, I was down at Mar-a-Lago. President Trump had House Freedom Caucus members come down, and we met with the president and Elon and some other members of his committee and staff, I should say, and administration. And so, yeah, Elon's very bright, and he's not a linear thinker. He's just brilliant, but he's at different points. I mean, he's just moving. But yeah, we've had a chance to meet him. And I tell you something interesting about Elon. The Speaker Johnson was telling us this story. When he went over to see Elon at Doge headquarters, he said, Elon, how much are you going to be able to save us? And Elon said, sir, I'll be able to save us $1 trillion. And Mike said, I looked at him like, $1 trillion, Elon? And he said, Elon kind of looked at his shoes like he'd been scolded, then looked up at the speaker and said, hey, sir, I'm pretty good with numbers. And I thought, yes, he is. And so he gets it. And I tell you, too, Joey, that Reagan tried this in his administration. They were telling this story where he sent his new administration leaders over to these branches of government, these bureaucrats back in the day, and the bureaucrats were able to stifle President Reagan's team, and they would shuffle papers. But they have been trying to do that with Doge, and it's not working because the algorithms, the people Elon's got, they're trying to firewall. These guys are just smarter than anybody we've got in government.
Yeah, I love it. Actually putting teeth back in the tiger of a real executive and some of these orders. And I imagine with that big, beautiful bill there, this could help some of the committees that are looking for those savings that Doge is already pointing the way forward, maybe something the president can't cut himself.
That's exactly right. We need to put ours in. I think in some ways we need to make sure we codify what we're doing instead of planning for the next 10 years and let Elon do USAID or this Social Security. I mean, you got 3.5 million people between the age of 150 and 159 every month drawing Social Security checks. I don't know about y'all, but I don't see 155-year-olds in Walmart or wherever I go. And so we know there's fraud there. And so the fact that he's able to identify 11 million people now that have been drawing Social Security every month, but they're over the age of 140 or whatever that baseline was, it just tells you that those are the kind of things that we ought to just shut the faucet off immediately, and that'll help the bottom line in this country. So that helps us achieve our goals of cutting spending.
Again, folks, we're talking to Congressman Barry Moore, Alabama's 1st district. I miss you in District 2, and who knows how the maps will redraw, but very much congratulations on your victory there, winning re-election in a hard-fought race. We were just talking just real quick I think yesterday, wasn't it just a few hundred votes that I believe you beat Jessica Taylor by to get into that runoff against Jeff Coleman? And I just keep telling folks, don't underestimate Barry Moore.
Yeah, 605 votes. Actually, was we made the runoff. We barely made the runoff by 605 votes, and Mr. Coleman was 22% ahead of us or something like that. And so, yeah, it was a God thing, man. And then when they redrew the districts, they only gave us 40% of our current district, and added 60% of my primary opponents, and we were able to win that as well. But I think it's just when you run on your record, Joey, and being one of those conservative guys, and I don't go negative. I just talk about our record, and that people appreciate that in politics.
Yes, sir. And being on the Judiciary Committee, what's it like dealing, or at least talking to the Democrats these days? I saw some guys trying to file impeachment and all the legal stuff. I'd imagine some of these committee hearings are a little entertaining, or if not frustrating.
Oh yeah, you get the dynamic individuals on judiciary on both sides. I mean, honestly, because Jim Jordan's our chairman, and then of course across the way we had Jerry Nadler, we had Adam Schiff. We've got just a number of people that we had. Cori Bush before she got beat. We had some really interesting people, and it's very dynamic. But I tell you what Newt Gingrich said about the Judiciary Committee, he was going to be the most consequential committee in the 118th Congress, and it was. And the things that we found, I had dinner with Dan Bongino and Pam Bondi last night, as well as Kash Patel, and it's always worse. Joy, what we find is always worse than what we thought it was going to be, what you could have imagined. So that as we investigate and as Pam rolls out this information to us, I think the American people, one of the number one issues when I did the town halls in 21 was the fear, the weaponization of government against U.S. citizens. And that's why I decided to get on judiciary when Jim asked me to, because we've got to rein in this government, this Justice Department that just goes after the political opponent. That will undermine a democracy or a republic so very rapidly if people lose trust in that system.
Absolutely. And y'all are doing good work, and it's just a matter of getting these things through, getting bills signed, and of course, executive action. And those names you just named, I have a lot of trust in them, in particular, Mr. Patel, Mr. Bongino, and Pam Bondi. Now, the scuttlebutt down here, it's like the worst kept secret in Alabama is that Senator Tuberville is running for governor. He's saying he's still praying about it, talking about it with his wife. And when we hear it from him, that's when it'll be official. But hypothetically, say Tuberville's running for governor. Who's running for Senate?
Man, I don't know. That's a good question. That's a really good question. And I assume once Coach announces he's running for governor, when he makes it official, then we'll kind of see that field. Some people start putting their names out there. But, man, I don't know right now who's going to run. Would you ever entertain it yourself? Joey, you know what my answer is going to be, right? And it's going to be, man, I'll pray about it, because I tell you, Psalms 119:105 says, thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and I've learned that a lamp doesn't give you a whole lot of light. So but I'm certainly honored in that conversation, because for a garbage man in Baton's Crossroads to even be on that list is quite an honor. Well, I blame Jeff Poore. He put out that whole list of who could possibly run. I saw your name, and I really do. I saw that come back when folks counted you out. It's been quite a career, and I think you're right. It is a bit of a God thing. So I guess we can never say never. But I just wanted to ask you that, because it changes Alabama politics in this 2026 cycle. Maybe you don't want to comment too much on state politics, but it's just, as I look at it, it seemed like a sure thing. Who's running for governor, Secretary of State, yada, yada, yada. And Tuberville running for governor it changes the map completely, and everybody's having to improvise a little bit on this thing. I kind of like it as a talk host. Yeah, and it's interesting because, like I said, it's almost a domino effect as the top spot falls and everybody shifts and things start to move around. And so, and look, Coach is a fantastic senator. He's conservative. Him and I are always in the top couple of conservatives, and so he's a great ally here. I think he'd be a heck of a governor. But you're right. If he makes a decision to run for governor, there's going to be a lot of domino effects. There's going to be a lot of shifting in position. Well, Congressman, I always appreciate your time. Let's do this. Let's do this more often. I got your folks. We're in contact now, and really appreciate the work you're doing up there. As you just said, one of the most conservative members of the delegation, and for that, I really appreciate it. Hey, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Y'all have a great week. Keep us in your prayers. Yes, sir. Again, folks, that's Congressman Barry Moore. And, well, that's interesting. I tried to ask him straight up. And, I mean, he's right. He's going to pray about it.
I mean, that's as honest of an answer as you can get, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, and it's also an if still. It's still a hypothetical. I wonder when Tuberville actually makes that decision.
Probably after he finished praying on it with his family.
Yep. And Suzanne.
Yeah, but like the latest reports that came out was like he told a bunch of people at a private dinner.
Were you there?
That he told people.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to be in person to solve this thing.
I mean,
rumors and innuendo and emails, Joe. You can't depend on.
Was the reporter in the dinner?
Oh, that's a good question. It's a good question. Well, and it may be it was folks who want him to
I think people
without revealing too much. He's been telling all sorts of folks he's running and he's thinking about it, or he's right. Like he's been telling all sorts of folks that would walk away going, he's running. And then the next week, folks come back and go, nah, he ain't running. So it's just been this trial balloon thing, and it's actually been quite entertaining to see all the scuttlebutt going on about it.
Does he want people to encourage him? I mean, you think that's what he's looking for? He's looking for people to go, come on, man, come on.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and also clearly, Brent Buchanan's Signal, one of the top polling firms in the nation, if not the top. And they don't do like these ones you see on TV. Mm-hmm. They do the very expensive polls that have every little breakdown and trend and methodology you might imagine. Like it's impressive.
Like a 30 question poll, which
Yeah.
are unheard of.
And Signal's done polling on this clearly, and Tuberville is what Buchanan was quoted recently saying. I think Tuberville's got 73% approval in the state.
I heard last night that it was 70.
Yeah, that's. I don't know how you beat them.
It'd be tough.
Right, and
Maybe
so
Nick Saban would be the only one that could slow him down a little bit.
that brings me to another story. I think. Let's see who put this one out there, but Will Ainsworth, the current lieutenant governor, he put out a Facebook poll. He runs an informal poll on Facebook for input on what he should run for in 2026. Interesting. Because I always thought, and I really do believe the guy that said my aspiration is governor. But if that spot is kind of taken, that lane is taken away from you, and you got the momentum, you're young, you got the money, you got the good name here in the state, do you run for Senate?
Look,
Especially if certain folks might support you.
I'm a strong Tuberville guy.
Yeah.
I think that despite the high polling numbers, these things don't come around very often. This isn't going to be a coronation. There's going to be serious, credible candidates, throw their hat in.
Oh, sure.
Whether it be governor, senator, whichever office it's going to be.
Well, and here's what Ainsworth put out on Facebook. He said, as the legislative session draws to a close next week, I will begin giving serious consideration to my future plans since I'm a term-limited lieutenant governor. Some Alabamians have suggested I run for governor. Others have suggested I run for the United States Senate if the seat is open. And a few liberal Democrats who dislike conservatives like me have suggested I return home to Gunnersville and leave public service altogether. Honestly, I'm not liberal, but I give that advice to everybody. Mm-hmm. Even if you're good at what you do, even if I'll admit you're good at what you do. Like there's always the option. Do you really want to keep playing in this world?
Right.
But some people do. You get used to the job. You like the job. But he goes on and says, Facebook seems like a good forum to ask my followers a simple question. What do you think I should do next year and why? And by the way, this is the right way to do it. I think just do it publicly, put it out on social media. That's the world we live in. It's like something like 90 something, if not 100 responses. There is, of course, nothing scientific about this. Technically, it's not even a poll. It's just a survey. But Ainsworth will likely use the Facebook responses as only one of several things to consider making his decisions. Of course, you got to consider family, supporters, and fundraisers. You got to look at actual scientific polling, Ainsworth versus Tuberville in particular. What are issues involving a Tuberville for governor race? Widen 65 enough of a hot button issue? There's all sorts of things.
Whenever we start hearing polls going, if you knew this, then this, then we'll know that there's real polling going around on whether or not any candidate is going to try to charge the textbook front runner.
And of course, Tuberville, speaking out on the 100 days, as we hit the 100 days of the Trump administration, gives Trump an A+ for his first 100 days in office, cleaning up the total disaster. Those are Tuberville's words, left by Democrats. A+, Tuberville told Larry Kudlow on Fox Business. What else can he do, Larry? The Democrats left a total mess. I was up here for 4 years of Joe Biden, Coach says. They did not do one thing for the American people or for this country. They actually tried to destroy it and everything went down. Now, President Trump's got foreign wars. He's got deportations, the border, the tax cuts, trying to save the economy. What a total disaster the Democrats created. They don't know how to fix anything, so they're trying to create problems.
That's what they're good at.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if they're trying. They just seem
They
to
just
be,
do?
They just get it right. They're great at the problem business.
Tuberville said Trump needed to continue aggressively pursuing his agenda, particularly on tariffs and immigration, or else miss the short window to get the nation back on track. Saying, quote, everybody wants to have their say about this, but at the end of the day, the American people sent us up here with some power. Get it done. And if we don't, the football is going to go to the other side. The Democrats will totally destroy this country. Now, tomorrow at about this time, a little after 2 o'clock, we'll be talking to the Senate side, not Tuberville, and United States Senator Katie Britt.
Excellent.
Look forward to having her back on the program and be asking very similar questions. I was talking there with Congressman Barry Moore, their perspective on the big, beautiful bill. Also on the Senate side, something that's unique. What are her thoughts on this idea of a rescission package? It's What that is, folks, is say all the stuff Doge found, that Doge in the executive branch, Trump himself just can't cut. It's stuff that's already appropriated. And a rescission package is the executive, the president can put forward an executive budget authority or something like that. Like an executive proposal, we want to cut this 200 billion, this 300 billion. It then only takes a majority of senators to then cut it out of the budget.
So they can't combine it into the big, beautiful bill.
That's the question.
Statutorily.
It might be something you do the big, beautiful bill, and then you come back, especially to find more savings.
Nah, man, I want it included. If they gotta pass the budget and they're going to tie it to this, hold their feet and hands to the fire and make them cut the budget, long term in the process.
Well, the question is, can you commingle both processes?
If there's a smidge of a window, do it and make the court strike it down.
Well, and this is why I'll ask Senator Britt about it. But the rescission package, the idea is the president proposes that the House doesn't have a say. It only takes a majority of senators to actually cut something. And this is sort of a compromise after the Supreme Court found during Nixon that impoundment was unconstitutional. Nixon wasn't spending money Congress had appropriated. And sort of the compromise of this is, you can still, as president, propose, I don't want to spend money on this. This is wasteful. This is outright just fraud, if not legal graft. And so now it takes a majority of senators. And I believe the first person who spoke about this a month or two ago was Senator Rand Paul, and teaming up with, of all people, Senator Lindsey Graham, which is a strange combination. So
I just don't know if I trust the Senate to get it done, man.
Well, and the last time this was tried, the chair of appropriations, I believe Senator Britt is on that committee, but the chair of appropriations is Susan Collins, and I don't know about her. Maybe they can convince her to just at least get out of the way. You don't have to vote in the majority.
Right, just get out.
We'll see. And also, if we have time, I'll ask Senator Britt on one of the bills that she's been pushing. It's this Kids Off Social Media Act. And just the conversation about, have y'all found less restrictive means about actually making that happen? Like, if you're going to we've talked about this a lot, Byron. You're going to try to secure the internet, especially for kids, and it's a very real problem. Like, you look at the issues and like the data over the last decade and a half, there's no arguing with it. The fact that, especially on young girls. So if you're going to try to create a system that, say, creates a walled garden for kids away from the big boy internet, how do you do it? And my worry's always been, that means massive regulation of adults. I believe, and I'll ask Senator Britt about it, I believe there are already databases that you don't need new information.
Right.
You just create a wall that's like built in. And it could be very similar to what Alabama's been doing with the content filters.
Exactly. That was
and then
what I thought.
There's other aspects of the bill, that is why I want to talk to her about it, where it's like if you're Facebook, for instance, and you do let somebody on who's, say, 15 or 16 years old, you cannot target them with your algorithm. And this applies to
great idea. Yeah, that's a great idea.
So there's a lot of interesting
aspects. Can we move that age group up to like 50s?
Right.
The limits they won't include that.
272-9228. And you mentioned this earlier. Somebody else just sent it to me. This is from WSFA. Kangaroo recovered after getting loose on I-85.
They got the kangaroo.
2 vehicles crashed on Interstate 85 after a kangaroo got loose. The roo is on the loose.
Yeah.
This was this afternoon, according to Aaliyah. The crash happened near mile marker 46 in Macon County. Both the southbound and northbound lanes were temporarily closed while officers, along with the animal's owner, searched for the kangaroo. Wait, you could own a kangaroo in Alabama?
Apparently you can, Joey.
Aaliyah says the kangaroo has been recovered and the roadway is back open. No one was injured in the incident. No additional details have been released.
Imagine you're on that road and you pull up to the roadblock and old Sheriff Bubba says, "Hey, we got a kangaroo on the loose. You're just going to have to wait here for a minute."
That's all right, sir. Good day. Can I crack open this natty light? Or are you gonna flag me for that? There's a roo on the loose. I should be able to sip a little.
Exactly.
It's what I used to do in the 70s.
Heck,
what I used to do in the 80s.
I don't think they stopped. Yeah.
Heck, it's what I used to do in the 90s.
What I'm still doing today.
Yeah.
Now, I don't officially do it since 2005 because I got that citation.
However, you mentioned kangaroos.
I mean, I walked that line well. I blew in and I was fine, but I was open container. I got that citation.
What do you do with that?
All right. I mean, come on. Can we? It's a free country.
Not in a dry county.
No, it ain't.
Marsupial. What do you mean a marsupial?
But the Roo was on the loose. It's so really, can you own a kangaroo in
I
Alabama?
don't believe legally you can own one.
I don't know, man. You can get those special vet things.
But you can't own a deer.
Well, and I imagine you can get a license for a zoo. Obviously,
you probably have to have a zoo type facility.
And we have some of those things around here.
Somebody sent a picture of it.
Oh, we got a picture of the Roo.
They put it in
dadgum. And that's not a big one.
No, but still. Hey, Joey, I just saw a kangaroo cross the road.
Yeah, it's just hopping along the road.
Yeah. I mean, how can you verify that's a real? Oh, I trust that. Son of a gun.
Yeah, that ain't a dude in a suit. That's a real deal kangaroo.
Coming at you on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Man, somebody go box it.
Man, some of these deer are jealous. They're gonna
That'd
see
be
this
another
new
thing.
deer that can hop
Bubba pull up
leaps
and say,
bounds.
let me handle that for you. That's right. Put them up.
It's like you're the fighting Irish. You put them up. Like
Put up your dukes.
Boom. Actually, man, you've seen some of those roos in Australia?
Yeah, you see the one that puts the dog in the headlock and takes him out to the water to drown him?
That's a big animal.
Yeah, it took the dude to come out to fight the kangaroo to make him let go of his dog.
And like, you got to be careful because those things, it's one thing to box them, but they can like gut you.
Yeah,
right?
they'll jump up and their
claws.
claws just, literally gut you.
Don't ever try to arm wrestle one. No.
What a day. Roo on the loose.
Wow.
Yeah, I do want to. We should look up the laws. What can you own as an exotic animal in this state? I don't know. I don't think we're as loose as Texas is.
I don't know. It's Alabama. Come on.
Just saying.
Yeah, I know. So am I. Just saying it's Alabama.
Like, honestly, I don't want, you know how in Florida, all the damn snakes and all the exotic animals that got loose. If we start getting a kangaroo population around here, especially all them hogs too, it's like.
Well, yeah, Theo Vaughn said back when he was younger, they had a monkey place around him where they used to do scientific experiments, and the monkeys escaped one day. And so they closed the school and told everybody, come help us all look for the monkeys. So he's like, I'm 12 years old, walking around town looking for a pack of monkeys. That was perfectly acceptable in Slidell, Louisiana.
Wow, man.
Davy Jones.
You just never know. You just know. Some people are having more fun than others. I'll tell you that.
You ain't kidding.
Tell you that. Like, I have no desire to own like a true exotic at all. That's just so much money, so much work.
Yeah, I mean,
so much could go wrong.
10 minutes into it, I'm like, we're good.
I'm
Like,
not trying to own any animal that can kick my butt.
Right.
No.
Anything that can hurt you, like really, really hurt you. I'm not talking about a cat like scratches you.
Yeah,
whatever. Dog might bite you, but like a tiger?
I don't know. A service monkey would be kind of cool.
No.
Yeah, man. I see them.
Oh, man.
You talking about the little tiny ones?
Yes.
I want
Still,
plenty
those
squid
things are
orangutan.
mean.
Dude, they form a great bond with their handler and they become one.
Yeah, and they're mean to everybody else.
Well, yeah.
A little ornery.
Yeah, because they know what you're thinking.
Clyde, the orangutan from Every Which Way But
that
Loose.
was it. Right turn, Clyde.
Yep.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing, and they're at Cole Plumbing. They're ready to help you.
Yes, they are.
With any and all of your plumbing needs. It could be you have everyday problems like a clogged drain, low water pressure. They can help you out with that. Maybe you want to upgrade to, say, a tankless water heater system, or it could be you want to install a brand new toilet.
Yeah.
Or new accessories in the shower. Maybe it's time for a new garbage disposal in the kitchen.
Or maybe your tenant took the hose bib, pulled it off the house, and you got to beat the slab up now so you can get the water pipes repaired. Yes,
Damn.
James Cole came and saved my butt. Saved my butt.
And of course, if you have a major leak inside or outside your home, they're ready to help you out without making a big old mess. They can do it with precision expertise, not tear out a bunch of drywall or like, well, we got to dig a trench to find the exact. No, they're not going to have to do that.
Exactly right.
They can do it with precision expertise with minimal discomfort to you in your home. Call them up today, 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend. Must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
No big surprises in our forecast. The month of April ending on a very warm note today and tomorrow with highs in the upper 80s both days. Partial sunshine. There could be some isolated Afternoon and evening showers with storms roaming around, but most towns will stay dry today and tomorrow, and probably daytime on Thursday, with Thursday's high up to about 88 as well. Scattered showers and thunderstorms moving in on Thursday night into Friday as an important cool front moves through. Some really nice air behind it for the weekend with sunshine and lower humidity and cooler temperatures. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
ASE's 25 and 25 has you covered. For just $25 in closing costs, you can tap into your home's equity. No hidden fees, no headaches, just extra cash. Visit your local ASE Credit Union branch today. Federally insured by NCUA, NMLS 420259. Terms apply.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your cause, your ASE.
For reliable electrical services in Central Alabama, trust the experts at Crosby Electric. Crosby's licensed and insured electricians are ready to tackle any project for your home. From troubleshooting, repairs, to installing new lighting and preventive maintenance. And Crosby understands the need for quality service for small business. Crosby is big enough for the largest job, yet small enough to bring real value. Visit CrosbyElectric.com to schedule your service. Crosby, powering Central Alabama with excellence. Since 1966, Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. We offer a warm home, a loving family, and a future filled with hope. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. Together, we can give Alabama's children the chance they deserve, a chance to dream, to succeed, and to feel truly cherished. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it most. Join us in making a difference. Visit AlabamaSheriff'sYouthRanches.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app from your app store. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift up Alabama's youth. And remember this, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
Treat yourself to the home-style goodness of Epicure and Jack's Tavern. Enjoy their lunch special with meat and 3 delicious selections, a drink, and bread, just $9.99 for seniors and $13.99 for regular size. At Epicure and Jack's, they're proud to serve meals made from scratch daily. They're not your typical fast food joint. They're your go-to for fresh, made-to-order goodness. Experience the taste of home at Epicure and Jack's Tavern.
Attention business owners. Did you know that about 90% of employees and customers are unhappy when they walk into a dirty building? Let Janny King, the king of clean, keep your business pristine. Janny King's local franchise owners can handle your cleaning needs with reliable, hands-on cleaning solutions that deliver more than just a clean space. Janny King comes with regional support, which ensures consistency and quality, allowing you to focus on all the other needs of your business. Go to JannyKingCleans.com.
Janny King, the king of clean.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. 272-9228.
How's your Bitcoin doing over there, buddy?
Good.
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
Yeah, it is.
Like, seriously, like, it's great. I expect it to, over the years, grow much more.
Do you think, and I know we're not experts, we're just total schmucks when it comes to this, but do you think it's going to go over 100 this year?
Yeah, I mean, it went over 100 before.
But I mean, that'll be the new kind of steady point.
Yes, I think it runs up to 1 million a lot quicker than people think.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because look at what they just did. For instance, they just took off some of the regulatory, like limbo, regulatory purgatory they're imposing on the banks.
Right.
So now it's going to be like before your bank, you might take your call going, I want to buy Bitcoin. They're like, sir, we can't really do that. It's a regulatory gray zone or our charter doesn't allow for it. Now what's going to happen is your bank's going to call you.
That's what I figured.
We have this new
investment tool.
Like Lutnick, who's the Commerce Secretary, his firm, Cantor Fitzgerald's already, I talked about it, doing, say, I want to get a commercial mortgage. I want to get a commercial loan.
Right.
And they're going to package the underlying asset with Bitcoin as security for the lender, which is pretty. And if you want to get out of the loan quickly, you just give up the Bitcoin. So it's just, there's going to be all sorts of creative new financial instruments. A lot of the big banks, a lot of big players for long-term wealth, they're probably going to have exposure to Bitcoin, much like they have exposure to gold. And it's a little more dynamic than gold in certain ways too. So there's a lot of movement going on.
Gold's on the big time rise.
And a lot of people are just waiting for more and more regulatory clarity, and that's coming. That's coming very quickly. As the big money starts flowing into this, and let alone the governments, some small governments have done some stuff. Alabama, I wish y'all get on it.
We will once everybody else has.
Right. We'll see. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. Now, don't call up Ashley and team if you're like, it's a kangaroo.
You don't think they could handle the kangaroo?
I mean,
Joey?
you can call them. They might get a kick out of that. There's a kangaroo on the loose in my backyard, 265-9990. But no, they're more ready to help you with those little critters, those little pests that might be trying to get inside your home. And it could be you're about to build a home.
Yes.
You were talking about this the other day.
That's exactly right. And then they'll want the ground treated. And here in Alabama, you absolutely need to have it done. And with Pest Pro Services, they'll come out there and treat the ground for you for termites before you build. And it's a very important process. Any builder will tell you how important it is. To me, the most important factor of that is you get someone local, someone that if you ever have a problem, will back you up.
There you
go. That's them at Pest Pro.
And of course, they can get you on a regular schedule for basic pest control needs, for termite services going forward, as well as mosquito protection. And it's not like they come out once, you got to hassle them to get back. No, they get you on a plan, and it's about, 8 times a year at the peak of mosquito season.
Telling you, somebody who enjoys that service, it could be 100 times a year. I love it. I have no mosquitoes.
You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search for Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces on Facebook. They have all sorts of tips and tricks, as well as great community events, giving back to the local community, highlighting local athletics. They're really service-oriented folks there, not just on, say, their commercial business side, but in all senses of the word service. They're just that good there at Pest Pro Services. And you can always call them direct, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Let's go to Bubbles. Hello, Bubbles.
Hey, Bubbles.
Hey, you remember Michael Jackson's monkey friend?
Yes.
That was Bubbles.
Bubbles.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but I heard Bubbles wasn't very nice as he got older.
No. Chimps are stupid pets.
Yeah.
Real stupid.
Yeah.
What was it? Have you ever watched the Hanna-Barbera cartoon, Sylvester the Pussycat?
Yep.
Do you remember the one where you had his little son and there was a kangaroo loose and he had boxing gloves?
Yep.
And he went behind the door and he goes, Dad, he goes, there's a big mouse in the room over there. And he opens the door and he goes in there and he gets the crap beat out of him really bad. And he says, and then he opens the door again. It's just a little mouse, a little boy. He says, it's so sad that my father would get beat up by a little bitty cat. He says, so he closes the door again. And of course, in the same room as the kangaroo, he goes in there and gets the Dickens. He says, what's wrong? He says, big mouse. How many times did he go in there and get?
Several.
Oh my God. And the sad thing was, he looked at my dad. I'm so embarrassed and sad. He got beat up by a little mouse. Oh, I didn't get beat up by a mouse. I'm going in there right now. He got beat up again.
That pride factor.
That pride factor got him beat up so many times. Was it a kangaroo that got loose out of a box? I guess.
Oh, sure.
And he thought it was a mouse, and the little boy sees the mouse. I tell you, Hanna-Barbera had some of the greatest cartoons.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? What was that one that the chicken hawk? I say, son, there's a chicken hawk over there.
Foghorn Leghorn. Yeah, he's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Remember, he'd run over there and he'd tell that, son, let me show you how to do that. He goes over there and tells him how to beat him with a paddle. He knows exactly how long his leash is on the wall.
That woman mouths like an outboard motor.
And then the dog shows him that the leash has been cut. He goes, uh-oh. He goes, uh-oh.
Well, Soldier Boy, I'm tied for time, man. I appreciate the call.
Man.
See you, brother.
Later, dude.
No, I'm light on those cartoons.
I think those actually are just a little bit before your time.
Yeah, I think so. Looney Tunes were still around though.
Yeah,
on
they're a
heavy
classic,
syndication.
Yeah. The Hanna-Barbera, that was some of the greatest stuff, man. Grape Ape.
Oh yeah.
What was the Hung Fu Fooey one?
Hung Fu.
Was it Kung Fu?
Or the
it was the dog. It was the Kung Fu guy.
He was a janitor
Captain
during the day.
Caveman.
Oh, do you remember the Hair Bear Bunch?
Oh yeah, they were some of the best early on partiers right there.
Like I've had numerous bar bets that this was a real cartoon, and people were like, "Nope, was it a thing?"
Just like the Banana Gang. Yeah,
The
Banana Splits. Yep.
The Saturday morning cartoons on USA, circa 1983, 1984. Fire.
No, the ones that people probably like of a younger generation wouldn't believe are of my generation, Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, no doubt. I remember the first time I saw Ren and Stimpy, I was like, what channel are we watching?
Like, and if you go back and watch it with, especially if you're a kid who saw them and go back and watch with adult eyes, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah. The things you didn't see.
Like
the
powdered
things you didn't see?
toast man. Yeah. And like how he had him hold on as he was flying and stuff.
Log.
It goes downstairs.
Slog.
Oh no. And I always remember, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. There's one where they figure out that hairballs cure all sorts of diseases and they run out of hair to lick. So they start licking the hair off of men's hairy's backs. And it's like some big brute of a cartoon. They lick the hair off and he just turns around over his shoulder and goes, that feels turdy. I'm like, what has this done? What is this doing to?
Oh, they go in space. Yeah, there's a lot of.
Yeah, we don't have a time machine though to go and prove. Oh, I know, dude. Or the one where Stimpy gets 3 butt cheeks.
Yes.
Or I mean, there's all sorts of ones. It's great. It's so wholesome.
These are good cartoons.
This part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. They brought you the entire second hour, and they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you whether you're looking to purchase a home.
Yep.
Or if you're looking to refinance a home. And of course, they specialize in helping veterans take advantage of those VA home loan programs that you veterans earn through your service. Especially if you've been told, oh, you already used it, or we don't have that for you, and whatever. Go talk to Kim and Madeline. They can really help you out. Say you're a veteran hitting retirement age. You want to save some money on, say, monthly costs.
Mm-hmm.
They can help you do that.
They sure can.
Or maybe you're looking to get credit card debt off your back. They can help you do that. Or you're looking to actually buy that place. You know, you're looking at rates and stuff, but you know what? Now's the right time. It's not just about the money. It's also about, I had a bunch of kids.
Right.
We want to live in a nice neighborhood. We want to send them
you.
to a good school. These sorts of things. They can help you out there at Alabama Home Mortgage, whatever your goals might be in buying or refinancing that home. So y'all check them out today. Call them up at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Let's go to Poison Ivy. Hey, Poison Ivy, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I was going to say hey to my favorite editorial writing Bitcoiner and my for real beat closing edit realtor and Byron, the Jimmy Oaks of the state of Alabama report. I was gonna give y'all an update here from the executive branch.
Sure.
I strolled by High Stepper's office and saw the latest bulletin on the corner desk. It warns of a computer-based interaction.
Oh man!
Oh no, we lost you.
No, I think the governor's office would cut you off.
I think they did.
I didn't touch it.
Wasn't me.
Damn!
Wow.
He was on, or she was on a roll.
Yes,
there.
she
Here,
was.
Hold on. Let's see. Poison Ivy, is that you back?
It is me back. I am so sorry about that. We had some people coming in here to see the governor. So where was I at?
You were telling us about, I think it was basically you were going to say something negative about me. I already know where this is going. Right. I can feel it, Poison Ivy.
Get ready now. This bulletin on her desk that I spied while she wasn't in there, it warns of a computer-based interaction keeping those victimized blood pressure at high levels for several days.
Yes.
Have you got your pens ready for the acronym that tells what this place is?
Give it to me.
Artificial Intelligence Rewiring Baffled Bewildered Soul. Baffled Bewildered Soul. Airbnb.
Thank you, Poison Ivy.
Oh, man.
Always a pleasure.
I thought you were going to go down the kind of the Tim Dillon rant.
Oh.
Remember his war against Airbnb?
I'm trying not to. I'm trying to handle this very civilly. We both do very well together.
Yeah, but I think he was a customer. He stayed
was,
at
and
one.
Well, yes.
And it was two lesbians in the desert out of Joshua Tree.
Plenty to say about it. And they nailed him on fees, I think is what they went
cleaning
after.
fees.
Yes.
Cleaning fee because he left the sauce.
That's right. That's what it was.
Right.
That's right.
He's like what? He left he left a few extra tartar sauces after cooked up a bunch of shrimp.
So what?
Right. And some dirty dishes in the sink. And it's like, you have a cleaning fee. And then they're like, no, you can't. And I think he threatened to burn the house down.
Yes, he went.
And so he's been banned from Airbnb.
Yeah.
And since that day, he's always been like, they're failing.
And I'll never go to Joshua Tree again.
He does a great rant on it, though. I mean, he really, really does. Because what he was doing was just staying at the Airbnb. It was nothing out of the ordinary at all. But they just nailed it.
I've never had an issue. Everyone I've stayed in, I've never had an issue.
Neither have we. We stay all the time. And knock on wood, with 5-star review, never had issues on ours. So it was just uncomfortable yesterday having to, hi, I'm the owner of the Airbnb. I know you don't know me from Adam.
Well, we did have an issue. My dad and I went over to Greenville to visit my niece's granddaughter and my brother, of course, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the one we normally stay in, they're like, well, it's on the bubble. It's right after the hurricanes.
Oh, that's right. It's power issues.
And
right?
like as we're 30 minutes out of Greenville, the owner calls and goes, yeah, they just told me it won't be back on until Sunday. And we're like, well, we leave on Sunday morning. And we got lucky. We found a doctor friend's place who was out of town, and it was like a free
perfect
bachelor pad. It was great. Really cool house. But yeah, stuff like that is like, damn, no power.
Yeah.
And the Airbnb owner can't control that.
Well, honestly, that's something I worry about is, we have a lot of storms in Alabama. I'm dreading the phone call. I know I'm going to get it. Or it's July 4th. It's 110 degrees outside. Lightning has struck and they don't have power. And they're like, Eddie, we don't have no AC in here. Like, I've called the man. I don't know what else to do. I've called the man.
This part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And Dillon Rings, like I was telling you earlier in the show, they are a full-service jewelry shop ready to help you out. But if you go to their Facebook page,
you see that cutie on there?
We've been talking about dogs all day.
Yep.
Luna wants to know, when was the last time you had your ring checked? Are the stones tight? Are the prongs worn down and need attention? Stop by the store and let Josh check your rings for you to make sure your stones are secure. And in fact, that's a good way to do it before something like fully breaks.
Right. I didn't even consider that.
Especially if it's a precious stone, if something you really care about, you don't want it to fall out and well, where did it fall down to? You might be paying attention when it happens. You might not. It might be in the car and good luck finding things. You're walking around outside, good luck finding stuff. And if you go to the Facebook page, just Dillon Rings on Facebook, you're going to see that cute face of Luna. War Eagle Luna.
Thank you.
And y'all can buy Dillon Rings today. That's 119 Brown Springs Road, right here, Montgomery, just off Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie that Joey, Eddie, and Byron, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
No big surprises in our forecast. The month of April ending on a very warm note today and tomorrow with highs in the upper 80s both days. Partial sunshine. There could be some isolated Afternoon and evening showers with storms roaming around, but most towns will stay dry today and tomorrow, and probably daytime on Thursday, with Thursday's high up to about 88 as well. Scattered showers and thunderstorms moving in on Thursday night into Friday as an important cool front moves through. Some really nice air behind it for the weekend with sunshine and lower humidity and cooler temperatures. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
When you need a new door or window replaced, you want it done right. Someone who delivers expert craftsmanship every time. Experience is a must. Listen, Davis Door and Sash. They can show you new doors and windows that can help you lower your utility bills and boost energy efficiency. DavisDoorandSashAlabama.com or call 334-288-6010. Davis Door and Sash, the perfect fit for your home.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Hello there, this is Dr. Sam, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Well, radio is the #1 reach medium, and it's everywhere, in cars, offices, homes, gyms, and even in stores. Radio advertising can efficiently get your message across to a large number of people. Contact me, Dr. Sam, by going to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
It's time to show Mom how much you appreciate her with a Jenny Lynn's floral creation for Mother's Day. Skip the grocery store flowers and make one quick call. 285-1000. Roses, lilies, beautiful bouquets, and gift baskets designed just for Mom. Call Jenny Lynn's Creations, 285-1000.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back, folks. I just really quickly want to go to this clip because it seems like it's going to be glorious to watch. So let's tune in. This is Trump right before boarding Marine One.
As Pope? I'd like to be Pope. That would be my #1 choice. No, I don't know. I have no preference. I must say we have a cardinal that happens to be out of a place called New York.
Oh, it's fantastic. Did you hear that, Eddie? Oh, you got it. It's just a short clip. Let's play it again.
Okay.
And it's hard to hear the question, but it's essentially like, who do you want to be Pope?
As Pope, I'd like to be Pope. That would be my number one choice. No, I don't know. I have no preference.
Oh, you know people's heads are going to be exploding, Joey.
Oh, goodness.
Now he wants to be the Pope.
Reminds me of a song.
I
You
wanna
could
be
be the
Pope?
president.
Oh.
I'd rather be the Pope.
I'd rather
You could be the side effect. I'd rather be the dope. Let's go to Ray Bowles, Prattville Carpet. How you doing today?
Hey, Ray, how you doing, brother?
We're doing good. You got to love Trump.
Yes.
I know.
What's great is they just don't get his sense of humor.
At all. At all.
Yeah, it's like, guys, come on. Some of the stuff, this is satire. It's funny. It's okay to be. I mean, Ronald Reagan was really funny. Listen to some of his little bits and pieces that he throw out there to Democrats. And actually, Bill Clinton could be really funny. I mean, look at Monica Lewinsky.
You look at her.
Yeah, look at her. She's grown up to be a full grown woman. Mm-hmm.
So listen, I tell you what, when you come to Proper Carpet, if you're dealing with Terry, you might get a little satire. The rest of it is straight business.
Gotcha.
So call us 285-8117. We're going to come out and give you that measurement. Next thing you know, you got a floor down.
Just that simple, folks. Again, that number is 285-8117. And be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
Guys, have a great day.
You too, Ray. Thank you, brother.
So what did we learn today? There was a Rue on the loose. Nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt.
Shut down the interstate.
Rue
for a
has
while,
been
though.
safely captured.
Yeah, a little one, though.
Yeah.
Not a big one.
Big enough. Would you have gone after him?
Nah, man.
Me neither.
Mm-mm.
I'd have been that redneck, though, with my gun. Y'all just tell me.
I got to hear this Trump thing again.
I must say we have a cardinal that
Hold
happens
on
to
one
be
minute.
out of a place called New York who's very good. As Pope, I'd like to be Pope. That would be my number one choice.
Trump for Pope.
He's the president and he's the Pope.
I actually love that idea because I know it's just like I said, nobody gets a sense of humor, or so many people don't. They're just going nuts.
Well, and he's been holding back all these years. You know, folks are like, I'm a very stable genius. He just starts going into Latin. Like,
yeah, it's gonna make people uncomfortable.
Veritas.
He's possessed.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, good show today.
It was fun.
A little all over the place, but in a good way. Tomorrow, Jeff Poore as usual. Senator Katie Britt. It should be a packed show. So looking forward to it. Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Vito. He's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President Trump in Michigan tonight, holding a rally in Warren. Severe spring weather continues. Parts of more than a dozen states, from the eastern Great Lakes to the southern plains,